Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the virtual gimmick table. I, of course, am your host, the Man Scout Jake Manning. It is 6:05. It's NWA time, and what better way to kick it off than with the champion himself, Nick Aldis. Nick, how are you doing, sir, today?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
Very, very good. I'm
no decaf today, obviously.
Obviously not. No, just right into the straight Red Bull and decaf.
Coming in hot.
Coming in
high
hot.
Energy.
Yeah, I have to be. We got a lot to get through. We got a 4-hour show, and we're kicking off with you. And this is a Thursday show. Very unique situation. Normally on a Thursday, you're thinking about a title defense. You're thinking about putting that wonderful belt in a bag. You're checked into your flight, getting ready to defend that belt. But we live in a different world right now. Talk about what's it like not to be defending that belt every weekend? What's it like not traveling, meeting the fans, and performing in front of them and defending that belt?
Well, I've tried to take everything with positives and negatives. It's it is strange not preparing to travel a lot, or getting ready, or preparing for a set of TV tapings in Atlanta, or things like that. But at the same time, it's given me pause, and it's given me a chance to work on some other things that I've always sort of have in the back of my mind, as sort of, hey, maybe we can do that at some point, but you just never really get quite enough time to do it once you thinking about your existing obligations, and then family time and stuff like that. And then obviously, speaking of family time, that's been the real blessing for us. It's just more QT with our whole family unit. Because a lot of the time, many of you know, my wife is in the same business, and she's very busy as well. And so it's a lot of the time we're kind of tagging in and out with our son. So there's not a lot of time where it's the entire family unit, but we've had a bit more of that. So that's been a lot of fun.
That's absolutely good. The family is very important, and I appreciate you for taking time away from your family during this time and coming down here to Highspots. And you've been signing away furiously since you got here,
yep.
And I'm not going to keep you very much longer because I'm going to let you go and continue to keep signing and stuff like that. Right. So thank you very much for the time. But let's go ahead and flash up that graphic right now, and I'll let you step off stage if you want.
All right,
right there. Thank you so much, Nick. Appreciate you. And like I said, with that graphic right now, Nick is going to be signing all of these promos particularly. He'll be personalizing them all for an extra $5. Once again, the codes for each one of the items is Nick Black 15, Nick White 15, Nick Purple 15. Also, too, we have a wonderful NWA art piece for $30. And like I said, if you want Nick to personalize those pieces, that's an extra $5, so it won't be $15 for that NWA black one, that Nick Black promo. It'll be $20. Just do keep that in mind, and also get your personalizations in early, so that way, as soon as we're done with Nick and the auctions, he can personalize it immediately. So once the auctions hit, we are done with the personalization. So get those in early for that extra $5. And once again, for the codes is Nick Black 15, Nick White 15, Nick Purple 15, and of course this wonderful NWA art piece for $30. Just put that in the comment section, and we will make a tally of it and put it together for you guys in your invoice. And speaking of invoices, it is now the time we bring out our very special invoice person. Elizabeth, please come on, run out here, please. You have some explanations, some information. You have 45 seconds to do it, so go ahead and say it.
Hello, it's Elizabeth Army. I'm just shooting to the graphic. Got it? Okay. Don't send your message me for invoices unless there's a problem, and invoices will be out in 48 hours. Okay, so just send a message, and then that's it. And then look, everyone, this is my promo and my design for the Elizabeth Army. You can see it. On Saturday, we will have these promos and stickers for sale. Okay, bye!
Bye, Elizabeth. And, of course, what you said Saturday, that means this Saturday, if you don't already know, you should know, we're bringing back the Cellathon, 12-hour Cellathon, 4th of July. 3 guests will be in-house, ladies and gentlemen. We will have Sergeant Slaughter, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and the Patriot. The Patriot will be in here live in studio at 11 a.m. Also, too, we will have Hacksaw at 2 p.m. Hacksaw will be on air at 2 p.m. We have wonderful, great things with Hacksaw. We got micro brawlers, we got action figures. I think we have 2x4s. I don't think I'm talking out of school when I say that. We'll have shirts. We'll have a whole bunch of Hacksaw stuff. Also, a very special art piece that will be debuting at 2 p.m. for Hacksaw block. So please check out that at 2 p.m. And then at 5 p.m., we will have Sergeant Slaughter in selling his wares as well and all types of different things. I think he might even have some personal items as well. We'll have to see about that. So make sure you tune into that. We have a full schedule of events all day on Saturday. We have two blocks of auctions, guys. We have more auction items than we do the last time we did this. We have more autograph pieces, and we also have some items that are in the mail as we speak, which hopefully will be making their debut on the big sellathon in Hot Start. So make sure you tune in 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're going to wrap this thing up at 10 p.m. or later. So tune in throughout the day here on the Highspots Facebook page. And also, too, guys, make sure you tune in next Thursday when we have in studio Matt Hardy. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a very exciting show. It's going to be a lot of Hardy items on the show, and that's why you haven't seen a lot of Hardy items on any of these shows. We've been stockpiling it for this particular event. Next Thursday, Matt Hardy will be in studio. He'll be signing stuff. It'll be all kinds of great stuff. Make sure you check that out. It'll be almost an all Hardy show, much like this is an all NWA show. But even though it is a special show, we don't bend the rules. The rules are still the same, ladies and gentlemen. If you see an item that is presented on the camera that you want, I need you to put in the comment section these 3 pieces of information. And it is, if you see an item you want to buy, you put sold, item name, and then the price that is said, the price that we all agreed upon. So if I am putting out a poster for $60, I need you to put sold, poster, $60. And if it's a special poster, like if it's a flare poster or whatever poster, make sure you are specific about that, because I know the lag is a bit of an issue from time to time as well. So I need sold, item name, and then the price, okay? And you can't just put, if it's a $50 item, you can't go sold, item name, $10. You didn't make a sale. Whatever price that we said, that's what we agreed upon. We have rules in this society. But also, too, guys, we're giving out rewards. We're giving out rewards for people that spend $100 on these auctions. You get free shipping domestically. Just as a reminder, domestically, you get $100. If you spend $100, you get free shipping. Now, don't worry, Canada and UK people, we're not going to leave you out at all. Well, actually, what we're doing, so we can save some money on value-added taxes, we're consolidating orders for you guys, for you Canadian and UK viewers and patrons here at the virtual gimmick table. We actually just consolidated a couple orders to Canada and UK, so some of your orders are coming right now, so be very patient with that. Also, speaking of being patient, be patient with the lag. Sometimes it's an issue and it takes a little bit of time, so we got to move through a lot of stuff, so we're going to be as patient as we possibly can, but we do need to move at a very quick pace because Facebook shuts us off after 4 hours, and we have a jam-packed show, so let's not waste any time. And guys, don't waste any time emailing your email address in coordinates with your PayPal account so Elizabeth can invoice you properly. Please, please, please send that Facebook message. So, pretty please, I know you're saying it, pretty please, Jake Manning. Let's start the virtual gimmick table, and let's start off with a bang with more NWA related items. And we're going to start off with a very hot item, literally, no pun intended, Into the Fire DVD, which we are selling for $20. Guys, I highly recommend you jump all over this, and boy, is it a treat for us to even have it here on the virtual gimmick table today. I was just informed by Maureen Tracy, who is one of the top bigwigs at the NWA. She said that this DVD isn't available anywhere else. It actually, the people that just had the pre-orders, they just got shipped today. So really, if you buy this DVD right here, right now, for $20, you'll be just after the pre-order people. You're going to get it before everybody else. We can have this out to you tomorrow. The pre-orders just went out today, so this is as hot as it gets. I mean, it's got a nice sun around here. NWA Into the Fire DVD just for $20. Just put sold NWA Into the Fire DVD 20 in the comment section. Sold NWA Into the Fire DVD 20 in the comment section.
All right. The first person to buy the DVD was Brandon Mula.
Brandon Mule, always jumping all over our DVDs. Thank you so much, Brandon.
Miles Kane.
Miles, you gonna go
Odie.
with me. J. Odie, there we go.
Brian Beasley.
Brian Beasley.
Nicholas Michael.
James McComb.
Daniel Bessel.
Bessel.
Ross Torres.
And
And we can accommodate.
We can
anybody else.
accommodate. We do have a cap on it, but we can accommodate the people that are coming in right now. But let's move on to some more DVDs. That's obviously what you guys are excited about. This one right here, I have the 10 Pounds of Gold DVD set for $25. Just put sold 10 pounds DVD 25 in the comment section. It is a 3-disc set of all of the 10 pounds of gold that were available online, but they are now in DVD form and a nice commemorative box right here. Let's get a closer shot of this right here. 10 pounds of gold, all the episodes right here. They go all the way up to 50. Sorry, Michael Elliott. I know you were on the close-up camera and I messed it up there, but it's all the first 50 episodes of 10 pounds of gold. Just put in the comment section, sold 10 pounds DVD 25.
A lot of the same names as the first one. We have Brandon Mueller with the 10 pounds.
Brandon Mueller, thank you so much. We got a Miles Kane.
He's coming. Daniel Bessels.
Daniel Bessels.
James McComb.
James McComb.
Jay Odie.
Jay Odie.
And we had a lot of other people that did get the Into the Fire. We didn't
Don't worry. There's a lot of people that are going to get that Into the Fire DVD. It's brand new. It just hit the market literally today.
John
it is.
Huerta got 10 pounds of gold.
John Huerta got the 10 pounds of gold. All right, let's go ahead and set it off to the side. Ross Torres. Those are coming in direct. We have a cap on it. We're going to accommodate it. Don't worry. We'll take care of you for sure. But right now, I'm going to take care of you guys right now. I got another DVD for you. I have NWA Power Season 1 for $20. Okay, I need you to put in the comment section, sold Power Season 1 DVD 20 if you're interested in Season 1. All right, and I believe it is a 2-disc set if I'm not mistaken. I actually authored this DVD, so I should know. It is a 2-disc set, NWA Power Season 1. Actually, you know what? If you want to, if it's more of a selling point for those DVDs, I'm the official author of all NWA DVDs. So if you're like, I'm a fan of Jake Manning, go ahead and pick this up as well. This contributes to my pocket as well. The more of these we sell, the more business I get from them. So,
all right, let me read out the first 5.
Please, yes, I
Guess
do.
who number 1 was?
Brendan Mueller. Brendan Mueller, not running on a lag at all tonight.
John Huerta.
John Huerta.
Miles Kane.
Miles Kane, there's Miles.
Jay Odie.
Jay Odie.
Nicholas Michael.
Matthew Smith.
Brandon Bates.
I know.
Beasley.
I'm taking it off right now. Yeah, we can keep giving me those names. There's a bunch more. We'll accommodate as we can. We got a bit of a cap tonight, just because it's all still very mixed in with NWA, is breaking it all down. But right now, we got to keep moving on. I'm moving as fast as I possibly can. This is going to be fast and furious. If you guys thought I talked fast before, wait till you see me tonight, okay? I'm on the clock, and I can't dilly-dally anymore, and that's why we're going to move on to, away from DVDs, to pins. And what I have for you guys right here is I have the 10 pounds pin, say that 5 times fast, the 10 pounds pin for $20. Just put in the comment section, sold 10 pounds pin 20. I'm even going to zoom in a little close right there. A wonderful 10 pounds pin right there. Just put in the comment section, sold 10 pounds pin 20 in the comment section. I'm sure a lot of those DVD orders are coming in and flooding in, but right now I've got pins. I got pins right in front of us right now. Who's going to be interested in this 10 pounds pin?
Tyree Davis.
Who's going to be the next person to pick up this pin? 10 pounds pin. A little bit slow. For first I was like, oh, we're not running on a lag at all. But now all of a sudden I bring a pin out and we slow down. Which makes me worried about the pins block on this Saturday now. If pins are slowing everything down.
Take it out.
All right, I'm taking it out. We got too much. Okay. All right. Tell you what we're going to do. All right. 1 pin isn't enough.
Dan Sousa and Shane Little did
Dan Sousa. Okay, well, maybe we're on a bit of a lag, but I'm going to let you catch up because tell you what, maybe 1 pin wasn't enough for you. But this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do an NWA pin bundle. I was going to sell these individually, but guess what? I don't have the time to sell them individually. I'm going to bundle these together, and I don't care if Maureen Tracy yells at me. I already yelled at her enough today. So I'm going to get her back right here, right now, and I'm going to do something that's crazy. She might tell me no on this. I'm doing an NWA pin bundle. You get all of these pins right here for $40. That's right, you get all of them for $40. What you have right here is you have the TV pin right here. You have the national pin right here. You have the power pin. You have the globe pin. You have the women's pin. And then you have the tag team pin right here. You get all of these pins for $40. So you are getting 6 pins for $40. Who's going to be the first person to jump over this NWA pin bundle by just putting sold NWA pin bundle 40 in the comment section?
Apparently they like cheaper pins, so we have Gerard Crush, Brandon
Mueller,
Mark
Nielsen,
Nielsen, Josh Cummings,
Arthur Ellis,
C. Joe MC,
buy some pins,
Eric Stower,
Tyree Davis. Tyree, you got the whole set, my friend.
Kenny Pete. I think that's one more than 5. Oh, they're still coming in. They like this stuff.
Okay, now we like this. Well, guess what? You liked it? All right. We got to move on. We've got to move on. They're going to come in. The lag's going to come in. Maybe this will be time to catch up. Hey.
You need a catch-up time a little bit? Okay, we're fine. Keep going.
We're fine. Elizabeth's got this. Don't worry. You guys are coming in. There's no lag tonight. We're running fast. We're running loose. We got 2 guests here tonight. And you know what? He's got a very lovely belt, but guess what? I got a very lovely hat right now. That's right. I'm doing the old Corky Franks move. If you've got a hat and you're trying to sell it, you put it on. That's right. And you put a little bit of voice on as well when you do it. This hat, this NWA Power hat, I'm selling for $25 just by putting in the comment section, sold Power hat, 25 in the comment section. Like I said, you put a voice on, you put the hat on, you do the Corky Franks move. But like I said, let's get a closer look of said hat. It is a nice, beautiful, embroidered hat. It, of course, is adjustable right there on the back. Just put sold Power hat 25 in the comment section. Who's going to be the first? His hat's moving a little slow. His hat's the thing that we need to catch up on. Apparently.
Well, I called it early on the pins, but okay, here we go. Kenny Pete with a power hat.
Kenny Pete with a power hat. Say that 5 times fast.
C. Joe MC.
C. Joe MC. C. Joe, pick up a hat. Just by putting sold Power hat 25 in the comment section. Okay, all right. Give it a second. That's fine. All right. Lag. Let everybody catch up. Maybe I move it a little fast. Maybe get a little slow. Okay, let everybody catch up. Great, Jake. You're doing a fantastic job. Sometimes you need to say that and not use negative speak. But anyways, I got something to tell you guys is we got shirts. We don't normally bring shirts out for you guys, and we do have limited sizes and everything, so when you put this, make sure you put your shirt size in, but I do think we have enough to accommodate everybody that's watching here in the virtual gimmick table. I have an NWA Legacy shirt for $20. If you're interested in this, make sure you put sold NWA Legacy shirt 20 in the comment section, but also include your shirt size. That is important. You just can't put sold NWA Legacy shirt 20 and we know what you're talking about. We don't know your shirt size. We know all of you very intimately. We pull your invoices. I feel like we know you. I feel like you're part of the family, but unfortunately, I don't know your shirt size. So I'm going to need you to put sold NWA Legacy shirt 20 in the comment section with your shirt size. Okay, and let's get a closer look of said shirt right here.
Steve Fox is our first one.
Steve Fox will be our first one right here. Of course, there's Legacy right here at the top. Comfortable fabric. This is the NWA, National Wrestling Alliance, Tradition.
James McComb.
Jim Wood. Hopefully all these guys are putting in their shirt size as well.
Jack Sullivan. Brian Beasley. That's 5.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and move on. There's an item on the next on the list that I do not have in front of me, so if somebody could see that item and go get that item, I would appreciate that. If not, I will jump to the next item. They're in the back. Somebody go talk to somebody who's got them. Apparently we went on without an item. Here I am. Time is of the essence, and we've already made a mistake. That's okay. It's okay. I will handle it the best I possibly can, because now we are going to go to an item that we have a hard amount on. We have a very hard 4 on this particular item. It is a multicolored Hard Times NWA signed turnbuckle pad, and we're selling this for $150. Okay, this was everybody that appeared on Hard Times. I have a hard 4 on this particular turnbuckle pad right here. So if you want it, just put sold. Hard Times NWA signed turnbuckle pad 150 in the comment section. I only have 4 available. Like I said, everybody that appeared.
Robert Davalos.
Robert Davalos. Or got Ricky and Robert up here. Got Tim Storm.
George Hagulauer.
George Hagular.
Joshua Cummings.
Joshua Cummings. Of course, got Ricky Starks down here.
Tyree Davis.
Tyree Davis.
That's 4.
That is off the virtual gimmick table. What is on the virtual gimmick table now is the item that I have a few more of. I have a few more of these. I actually have 10 of these items. It is also a turnbuckle pad, and it is just signed by Nick Aldis. It was literally mere seconds ago, and we handled that, but it is a black NWA turnbuckle pad, and if you want this turnbuckle pad, just put sold NWA black turnbuckle pad 75 in the comments section. I only have 10 available, ladies and gentlemen. Just put sold NWA black turnbuckle 75 in the comment section. It is signed by Nick Aldis right there. They get that right there. It's his autograph right there. Wonderful NWA turnbuckle pad.
Tyree Davis is number 1.
Tyree, you've been killing it on these turnbuckle pads. You and Mark Nielsen need to have a turnbuckle pad off.
Robert Davalos.
Robert Davalos, you ain't far behind. You might have a bronze.
Steve Fox.
Steve Fox, you're getting in on the fight of these turnbuckle pads.
Brian Beasley.
Brian Beasley.
Mr. Turnbuckle, Mark Nielsen.
There's Mark Nielsen. I was wondering where you at.
Gerard Crush is 6.
Gerard Crush is 6.
Vince Graff, new name, 7.
Vince Graff, brand new name.
Justin Shelton's 8.
Justin Shelton, you are the 8th person. We only have two remaining at $75.
Corey Vallow is 9.
Corey Vallow is 9.
Jeremy Smith is
Jeremy
number 10.
Smith, 9, 10. We are off the virtual gimmick table. So, like I said, sorry I only had 4 on the other one. I made it up to you for the 10. But if you're not turnbuckle padded out, I have 3 of these. And it is the Into the Fire tag team match. The tag team match from Into the Fire, NWA signed turnbuckle pad, $100. Of course, it was signed by the Wild Cards, and of course, the Dawsons and Rock and Roll Express. So the Wild Cards, Rock and Roll Express, and the Dawsons signed this turnbuckle pad. It was ring used. It is only $100. So I only have 3 of them. So you want to complete the set. You also have another signed one. This one's only 3 of. I have them for $100. Let's go get a closer look of said autograph right here. This is from the Into the Fire, which you all got the DVD earlier.
Okay, Robert Davalos.
Robert Davalos.
Gerard Crush.
Gerard Crush. 1 remaining. Into the Fire tag team match. NWA signed turnbuckle pad.
Brian
ring
Beasley. There
Brian
we go.
Beasley. There it is. There it is. All I had to say was ring used, and it was gone immediately. All right, now a lot of those were NWA items. Now here's something I kind of just put together from some of our regular items. This is a kind of like a combo. We got a lot of combos coming up this Saturday, and putting together combos was difficult. So I was able to put together a really nice combo for you guys. As you guys know, NWA is very strong about girl power. So I took some of the stars of the NWA women's division, and we had Diva Diaries of them already. So I'm going to combine them together for you guys. And I have a girl power DVD set for $30. Just put sold girl power DVDs. And basically what you were getting is you were getting a Diva Diaries interview with Thunder Rosa, Allison Kay, and Jazz. So you get these 3 DVDs for $30. Sorry, the NWA chief was in my ear and trying to tell me, like, you can't give away these 3 DVDs for $30. No, sir, you cannot. Right here, you got Jazz, you got Thunder Rosa, Alice Kay, all Diva Diaries, but we're going to call this the Girl Power DVD set. Just put.
All right. Brandon Mueller picked the set up.
Brandon Mueller, you're always on top of a DVD deal, and you're not going to be disappointed in this. So who else is going to pick up this Girl Power DVD set with Allison Kay, Thunder Rosa, and Jazz? There, Diva Diaries. All conducted with highspots.com. I believe you.
Let's move on.
Let's move on. Let's move skidly on. That concludes the hot starts as we always do. But don't worry, that means we get to promo time. You're actually going to get 2 promo times today, believe it or not. And you know we're honoring the new and the old of the NWA, but we're going to stick with the new here for this first part. And this just came in today. This is a hard 10 on this one. Hard 10. And speaking of before we get any further on these promos, I must remind you, if you're interested in the Nick Aldis 8x10s, make sure that you go ahead and get those in now, especially those personalization. I will get to that. I understand directions. Yes, I do. Let's go ahead and put these promos up, and they're signed. Nick is in the back right now signing these particular promos right now. Of course, this is the white. If you're interested in this, just put Nick White 15 in the comment section now. If you're interested in this one, just put Nick Purple 15. And of course, if you're interested in this one, which I think you are, just put Nick Black 15. And of course, if you're interested in the art piece that is also signed by Nick Aldis, just put NWA Art 30. Okay? These are the particular items. Nick is in the back signing these right now, and if you want personalizations, that is an extra $5. But make sure you get them in before the auction section, because as soon as I relieve Nick from the auction section here, he's going to do the personalizations, and then he's going to hit the road back home. So don't wait till the end when we get George out here. Get it in right now if you want those personalizations. So those are the codes, those are the deals, that's the thing. But back to the promos at hand, and this is one that I was so excited to bring on here. I forgot to plug the Nick's items one more time. And I'm very excited to have this one. And speaking of girl power, I have a girl power signed 8x10. I have a hard 10 on this one, and I'm selling this one for $20. Just put sold girl power promo $20. Signed by Allison Kay, Marty Bell, Ashley Vox, excuse me, and of course Maureen right there. So who's going to be the first person? Types in sold girl power promo $20 in the comment section.
Julio Mang.
Julio recognizes he's getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's getting 5 signatures for $20. Justin Robbins. Thank you so much, Justin. It's going to be the next person. Like I said, limited. Brandon Mueller. There you are, Brandon.
Donald Meredith.
Don Meredith. Don Meredith, old Cowboys quarterback. Thank you for watching here tonight.
Vincent Rosa.
Okay. Well,
5.
It's 5. We'll set it aside for right now, but it is still available. This girl power promo is still available for $20. You are getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 signatures, $20. Don't want to miss out on that. Only 10 available. We have 5 more available.
Stephen Bradley leaves us with 4.
Stephen Bradley leaves us with 4. We'll come back to that. We'll plug that around. But I think this is going to go rather fast. This next one. This is probably the hardest to get. Like I said, I was really excited to get the promo time. I forgot to plug Nick's again. Because I really wanted to get to promo time because I was excited to bring this one out here. I was excited for the Girl Power one, and I'm excited for you guys to get an opportunity to own a Billy Corrigan signed picture for $25. Very, very hard cap on this one. Limited amount. If you're interested in a signed Billy Corrigan picture, just put sold Billy Corrigan 25 in the comment section. Let's go get a closer look of the autograph right here. There it is, just by putting sold Billy Corrigan 25 in the comment section.
Yeah, we may hit our limit on this one. All right. Daniel Blotke.
1.
Michael Chavez.
Nicholas
Da Silva. Trevor Gust. Matt Yanuzzi. Dustin
Robbins.
Ganell
Harper.
Jason Rich. James
Hebb.
Stephen Bradley.
Nick
Da Silva said twice. Brian Beasley.
11.
David Tucker's 12. Vincent Rose. It's 13.
I'm going to go ahead and take it off because that 14 is going to come in because of the lag, and we are done. Billy Corgan signed picture is off the
Dwayne Thompson.
Dwayne Thompson. We're off the virtual gimmick table. Hard 14. We are done. We have accommodated. We still have 4 remaining of the Girl Power promo for $20. 5 autographs, $20. So you only got 4 of these remaining, guys. Once these are gone, these are gone. So check those out. But let's move on to another star that kind of made his debut in the NWA. He was a part of the new version. He's been in different incarnations of it. But go ahead and honor him from the new section. I have C.W. Anderson for $15. Just put sold. C.W. Anderson 15 in the comment section. Right here. He's even holding an NWA belt right here. Just put sold. C.W. Anderson 15 in the comment section. If you're interested in that, limited amount here tonight for me to sell of this particular photo, especially with him holding the NWA belt. He's going to be the first who wants to buy a C.W. Anderson autograph picture for $15. Okay, give that a second, give it a beat, lag. Okay, no love for C.W. Anderson. That's quite okay. I think there's going to be a little bit more love for their next individual. Actually, we wish we had a single of this next individual. One person is in the NWA, but another person is in WWE right now. And we're just going to include it anyways because we don't have any other signatures of them singly. We have Beer Money, which includes James Storm, who has wrestled for the NWA World title. But we're just going to throw in this Bobby Roode promo. So you get Beer Money, and you get Beer Money autograph picture for $20. We would normally just sell a James Storm for $20, so feel like you're getting a Robert Roode signature for free. You get Beer Money for $20. Just by
Dylan Apple showed some love for C.W. Anderson, so he didn't go as a donut.
Thank you so much, Dylan Apple. We haven't had a donut yet in promo time, so thank you for fixing that situation, Dylan Apple. But right now, who's going to jump on the situation that I have here on the merch table, the gimmick table right now, where I have Beer Money on the gimmick table for $20, just by putting sold. Beer Money, $20 in the comment section.
Caleb Carter.
Caleb Carter, thank you so much.
Chris McCullough.
Chris McCullough.
Austin Madrid.
Austin Madrid.
Jeremy Beesall.
Jeremy Beesall.
And Daniel Blattke.
Daniel Blattke. Does that make 5?
5.
That's 5. Beer Money is off the virtual gimmick table.
A couple extra we can accommodate.
We can accommodate for the couple extra that are coming in. Now the lag's catching up. People are finding. I tell you what. People find we had turnbuckle pads and they're gone. People jumped in. I'm sorry, we don't have turnbuckle pads. We're in promo time right now, but we do have the NWA champion who we're going to bring out a little bit later. But right now, I'm going to put up a promo of a very wonderful wrestler in her own right, Marty Bell. So if you're interested in this autograph picture by Marty Bell, I'm going to need you to put in the comment section, sold Marty Bell 15. All right, this wonderful picture right here. Let's get a closer look. Right there. Marty signed it right there in the corner. If you're interested in this particular photo, just put sold Marty Bell 15 in the comment section. I said you're getting this one for 15. We still have 4 available for Girl Power, all 5 of them for 20.
You could just make the comment, all turnbuckles have been sold, because we keep asking, people keep asking.
Oh yeah, we have no more turnbuckles, guys. I've just said it 30 seconds ago. We have no more turnbuckle pads. That's why you got to tune in early. We put them in early. We're done with our turnbuckle pads. There are no more turnbuckle pads. We'll have more turnbuckle pads on Saturday, but what we have right now is a Marty Bell signed picture for $15 here on the virtual gimmick table.
Might have hit our donut.
We hit a donut.
I think we might have.
We hit our donut with Marty Bell. It's got to be because they got this one of her. They're getting all these for 20. I only have 4 of these remaining. So you're getting not only
three of them.
3 of them now. See, this is what that was the problem. This came in last minute. I didn't realize that. Like, why would you pay 15 when you get this one for 20? You get Allison Kay, Ashley Vox, Marty Bell. You get everybody else. So we got 3 right now. We hit our first donut, but that doesn't count. That doesn't count as official donut. We got it from Marty Bell right here. We only have 3 remaining of this Girl Power promo.
Gary Horn said no way. He'll take a Marty Bell.
There you go, Gary Horn. Gary Horn, Dylan Apple. You're the true heroes of promo time. But right now, let's see if we have any more heroes, or at least people. Maybe not heroes, but maybe people that are going to own the last of Cody Rhodes blue background promo. We only have 9 of these remaining. Cody Rhodes blue background for $15. Hard 9. Who wants it? Come get it by just putting sold Cody Rhodes blue background 15 in the comment section. Okay, let's get a closer look. Set autograph right there. There's Cody. Only have 9 of these remaining. We are running desperately low on Cody Rhodes autograph. I shouldn't even be putting out here today, but because he's got such a rich, entangled history with the NWA himself, I brought it here tonight.
I'll probably go over on this too. Jared Jonas,
Corey Tunstall,
Caleb Carter, Mike Smith, Chris McCullough, Tony Mielo, Jeremy Bishaw, Ben Boham, and number 9 is Dallas Madrid. Cody Rhodes blue background is not only off the virtual gimmick table, it's out of the filing cabinet. We have no more. That's done. That's it. That's over. But I still have a few remaining Girl Power promos for $20. I believe I have maybe 2 or 3 of these left. I also have Marty Bell for $15 just by putting sold Marty Bell 15 in the comment section. I also have C.W. Anderson for $15 as well, just by putting sold C.W. Anderson 15 in the comment section. Okay. Hopefully the last couple of those will come in. I'm going to leave them on the gimmick table for a little bit. So we had at least 10 people ask for a Cody that's not available. Okay. We do have another shot of him, I believe. If
we do.
If they want to write to Elizabeth.
Yes. If you guys do want a Cody signed picture, I believe we have the Ring of Honor belt one, which is a nice one on the outside where he's like this, like. I don't know. That was a weird impersonation of Cody. I'm probably never going to book from AEW again by making that impersonation. Regardless, if you have it available, make sure you email Elizabeth saying you want a Cody Rhodes autograph. We'll make it right. We'll make it happen. Don't worry. We are running desperately low, but we're going to reward you guys for tuning in early here at the NWA show. And like I said, part of the reason we're doing this early is because we have 2 guests. And most specifically, our first guest is in the back signing furiously all of these 8x10s, which are going to put up that graphic right here, right now. If you're interested in the Nick Black 15, just put in the comment section Nick Black 15. If you're interested in the white one, just put Nick White 15. Or the purple background one, just put Nick Purple 15. Also, too, if you're interested in the NWA art piece, just put $30. And as a reminder, guys, if you want personalizations, it's an extra $5. But make sure you get them in before the auctions, which is going to come up very soon in a matter of seconds, because poster time here is very, very, very short. Matter of fact, there's only 1 item. So if you want your personalizations, go and get them now. Put them in now. If you want a personalized picture by the champ himself, Nick Aldis, get it in now for an extra $5. Get that signed, personalized 8x10 for $20. Okay? Do keep that in mind. It's an extra $5. All right. Okay. Normally, like I said, if it was a normal show, it would be in poster time right now, and we'd be there much earlier than expected. I don't have a lot of posters ready for you guys because I actually got some posters I'm going to auction off. But what I do have, kind of to fill that spot of poster time, is I have a Mongrovian flag signed by Aaron Stevens and question mark, both of them, and I'm selling it for $50. Like I said, this is a signed Mongrovian flag by Aaron Stevens and question mark for $50. Just put it in the comment section, Mongrovian flag, $50. And I have a limited amount of these, so if you're interested, I would jump all over it. Let's go and get a closer look of the autograph right here. Obviously, we have question mark right there. And, of course, we have Aaron Stevens right there. That is what we got right there. Mongrovian flag, I have 6 of them available.
5 left now. Vince Graff was the first.
Vince Graff, thank you so much for being the first person to pick up this Mongrovian flag by putting sold Mongrovian flag. I think I'm saying it correctly. I don't want to offend any Mongrovians. That's the last thing that I want to do. Mongrovian flag signed by Aaron Stevens and question mark for $50. It's a nice grommet too. You can put it up on the wall very easily, tack it up, no problem whatsoever. Signed by question mark and Aaron Stevens. Anybody at all? Any takers? We're good. Okay. That concludes whatever promo time we were going to have. So, We're good? All right. We're now going to get into the auction portion. We're going to do a couple of auctions before we get Nick back out here. He's still furiously signing away. We're going to get him ready here in a little bit. We have 2 items. Then we're going to bring him out here. Like I said, poster time was a little short, but don't worry. I'm going to make it up to you. I'm going to make it up to you guys right here, right now. I'm going to be auctioning off a set of posters, not individual. I put some posters together, and it'll kind of make sense as we do it, why it makes sense why these posters are together. They are signed posters, and if I'm not mistaken, they were hanging up during the tapings. If I'm not mistaken, they were hanging up. If you've seen Into the Fire, which you've got the DVD, you will see these were hanging up in the background as they were entering, and of course they were signed by the talent that are on them. And what I have for you guys is I have 3 posters that we're going to auction. The bids will start at $5 as they come in, and this is a poster set for Into the Fire. And what I have is Colt Cabana. I have then Ricky Starks, and then I have Aaron Stevens. So basically I have the NWA national title match from Into the Fire. All 3 participants, all of their posters that were hanging up as they made their entrance that appeared on Into the Fire. They signed them as well. There's Aaron Stevens right there. They signed them. You get all 3 of them in this auction right here, right now. Bids should be coming in right now. These are one-ofs. These appeared on camera on the actual pay-per-view itself. You get all 3 of them. Let's go ahead and put up a shot of all 3 of them together right here. It's very hard because they're very big posters as well, so it's very hard for me to hold all of them up. But there's all 3 of them. The bids can keep coming in right now. You get all 3 of these. Each of them are autographed. I will get them in position so you can see the autographs a little bit closely as those bids are coming in right now. So, all right. You said they roll up right here, and here's a close-up of Ricky Starks' autograph right there. Autographed this poster as well. And then, of course, Colt Cabana's autograph right there. You can put a little NWA right there in the below. And then, of course, Aaron Stevens as well, right there in silver. Okay, so you get these 3 posters. Like I said, it's very difficult. They're rolled up, ready to go, ready to be put in a tube, to be shipped out to you guys. I have them right here. How are the bids coming right now, Mike?
So our current high bid is Joshua Cummings at $75.
Okay, we're at $75.
I know you said it, but just repeat for everybody that these were actually used in the
These were actually used. If you guys saw Into the Fire, as they were making their entrance, they were hanging up right at the rafters, because if you remember Into the Fire, they entered from the top of the bleachers. And what they had at the top of the bleachers was everybody's poster hanging up. Most everybody that appeared on the show, they were hanging up, and people walked in front of these. So these appeared on camera at Into the Fire, but you're getting all 3 members of that co-main event of Into the Fire right now.
Ryan Miller's increased it by 5, so Ryan Miller's at $80.
Ryan Miller's got us at $80 for these signed posters that appeared on camera on Into the Fire.
These are 24 by 36? Yeah.
24 by 36 posters.
Austin Madrid is up to $85.
Austin Madrid has got us up to $85. So like I said, reminder guys, these are autographed, and it's all 3 of them. It's not one, it is all 3. You get Colt Cabana, Ricky Starks, Aaron Stevens signed posters that appeared on the actual pay-per-view itself.
All right, Austin Madrid, let's give it 60 seconds, maybe move things forward. 60
Okay,
seconds.
60 seconds right now. Austin Madrid, $80. 3 posters, guys. All right, now let's go. Let's make it very clear. Show that graphic again, all 3 of them again, if you don't mind, Mike. It's up. Okay. See,
Austin Madrid is at 85 as the high bidder.
85. Austin Madrid. You can end up getting 3 of these posters. This is grossly lower than I expected it to go. I'm not going to lie. I expected this to go a little bit higher, but this is where we're at. We're at $85. This is going to be a steal, Austin. This is going to be a steal. One of the main events from Into the Fire posters. All the
30 seconds.
30 seconds is where we're at right now. Austin Madrid.
Caleb Carter jacking it up to 90.
Caleb Carter got us up to $90. Right now, you get Ricky Starks, Aaron Stevens, Cole Cabana, all signed posters that appeared on camera at NWA Into the Fire. So Austin, let us know if you're in or you're out, or you can do better than $90. That's what I need you to do right now. That's kind of the rules of these auctions, guys. As a reminder, when we do these auctions, if it's kind of going back and forth with somebody, or if you got outbid, we need to know if you're in or you're out. Okay, and the way you let us know that you're in, you get us an amount that's higher than the bid that just came in. But if you're out, let us know.
Austin Madrid is out, but Vince Graff is in at 100. Vince Graff is the leader at 100.
Okay, Vince Graff is at 100, which means who was had the high bid?
Austin Madrid he's out.
Okay.
So now we're waiting on Caleb Carter.
Caleb Carter, that's the name I was looking for. Caleb Carter. You need to let us know if you're in or you're out. Can you do better than $100, Caleb? And the sooner you can do that, the sooner we can start the 60-second clock. And then once that 60-second clock is over, we can do the basketball count and then call the end of the auction and bring another item out. And then we can bring out Nick Aldis, okay? So.
Waiting on Caleb. I'm going to put this on 60 seconds. Give him
Okay,
time.
let's give Caleb more than enough time. Caleb, please let us know if you're in or you're out. Can you do better than $100 for these 3 posters that appeared on NWA pay-per-view Into the Fire? Which, if you picked up the DVD, guys, you can pick this up. All 3 of these posters, part of one of the main events of that show, signed by all 3 participants.
All right, Caleb's in at 105.
Caleb's in at 105. Thank you so much for chiming in, Caleb. Right now, we need to have Vince. Vince, let us know if you're in or you're out. Vince, can you do 110? Vince, why don't you go to 125? Maybe you can do 125.
Vince went up to 110.
Vince went up to 110. Caleb, can you do better than 110? You guys are moving along 5 at a time, 5 at a time, 5 at a time. I'm telling you, jump up 20. Scare them off. Run them off. That's how these auctions work. When you move 5 at a time, it slows things down. Go ahead and jump that 20. Let them know you mean business. Okay? But if you're not, if you're like, hey, I'm done, I'm out, that's more than I expected for these 3 posters, which would be incorrect. They are worth way more than 110 right now, I'll tell you that much.
We're already at free shipping on those.
You're already at free shipping, guys. So if you were worried about shipping, all that, no, you don't got to worry about the shipping anymore. Not at all. This is free. This is going to be shipped out to you for free. We're over that threshold right now, so if you have something you were calculating, throw that out the window right now.
Caleb went up by 5, and then Vince Graff listened to what you were saying, and he jacked it all the way up to 140. Vince Graff.
Vince Graff, 140. There you go, Vince. You're getting it. This is what I'm saying. Vince, you're a very smart man. But Caleb, are you a smart man? But also, are you a rich man? Can you do better than 140? Okay? Still a steal. Still a steal. I know what these posters are worth.
Caleb's out, so 60 seconds on the clock.
All right,
Vince.
we're on 60-second clock right now for 140. These 3 posters that appeared on NWA Into the Fire: Ricky Starks, Aaron Stevens, and Cole Cabana. NWA national title match, co-main event of that particular show. 60-second clock. All 3 of them. They'll be shipped out to you for free now because we're over the $100 threshold. So. We're already getting close to 30 seconds right now, unless somebody's going to jump in out of nowhere and recognize this is still a deal for 140. You know, we can jump in. I'm telling you, even 150 is still a steal when it comes to these 3 posters. But looks like we might be giving it to Vince for 140. You let me know when it's time for that basketball count, and I'll gladly give it, and we'll gladly roll it up, put it in a tube for you, Vince, and you can hang them up on your wall just like they were hanging up on the wall on the actual pay-per-view Into the Fire.
All right, 10 seconds.
10 seconds basketball count for you, Sir Vince, at 140 in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations, Vince. This will be shipped out to you very promptly, as soon as possible. 140. Make sure we get the invoices taken care of. Thank you very much, Vince. All right. Now on to another poster set. It's another 3 posters, but this is from the Hard Times pay-per-view, and once again, same deal. Appeared on camera. Once again, also signed. But what I got is I got the women that appeared on Hard Times. I have Allison Kay, I have Camille, and I have Melina. Posters are signed by all 3. They all come together. Bids will start at $5 as they work their way up. So like I said, you get all three of these women, all three of these posters together. They're all autographed, all in the same auction, just like we did before with the Into the Fire one. We're doing it with the Hard Times, but we're doing it with the women this time. And let's get a closer look of the autograph right here. Of course, we have Melina's autograph. You even put a little heart right there on there. Got Allison Kay signed over there in silver pen. And we have Camille signed right here as well. Let's go get a shot of all three posters so you guys understand fully that this is all three of these posters here. Appeared on the Hard Times pay-per-view. As the bids come in, working their way up, I hope and anticipate this will draw just the equal amount of money for the women as well.
Oh yeah, we're going to get there.
Great.
Let's just give some history so that way everybody gets a little shout out here. Hold
Okay.
on. We started with Michael Chavez started us out with 25.
Michael Chavez got us to 25. So
Trevor Gus got us to 40.
Trevor Gus got us to 40.
Austin Madrid to 50.
Austin Madrid to 50.
Ryan Miller at 65.
Ryan Miller at 65.
Austin Madrid back in at 70.
Austin Madrid and coming in.
Junior Martin at 75.
Junior Martin at 75.
Austin Madrid at 80.
We're at 80.
Rob Mack 135.
Rob Mack 135. You saw what the other ones did. You were like, take it on up there. You're listening to me, Rob Mack.
So and that's the high bid right now.
All right, 130. Rob Mack. And guys, I know he just jumped up right there. Let us know if you're in or you're out.
135.
135. Excuse me. 135 right now. He very smart, Robert Mack, like, hey, you know what? I'm going to get these for $5 less than I got the Into the Fire one. Very, very astute. Mac, I appreciate that. But can anybody do better than 135? If everybody's out, you're out. But come on, jump on and you get all three of these posters. All three of them are autographed.
All right, 60 seconds at 135.
Okay, we're at 60 seconds right now. Like I said, this pay-per-view took place in January 2020. Hard Times pay-per-view appeared on camera, hanging up. Now they could be hanging up in your house, Robert Mack. Maybe in less than 60 seconds, it could be hanging up in your house.
All right, 30 seconds.
30 seconds. That's where we sit right now. These three posters. Robert Mack got it for a steal. A steal. We're getting close to that basketball count right now. Anybody want to jump in for more? Even if you come in at 140, it's still the equal value. If anything, I think we're doing this 135 and 140, much cheaper than expected. Much cheaper than I expected. These appeared on camera, on the actual pay-per-view. You possibly can get this for 135. Are we time for that basketball count right here, right now?
We're good.
We're good. Okay, I'm going to roll this back up right now. Give that basketball count in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations, Robert Mack. You're the winner of the Women's Hard Time posters, which means we are now at that time. We're going to get the champion here very shortly.
Yeah, he's coming in, but could you just go through those pictures with a close-up camera one more time?
Absolutely. I'm going to go through the pictures that Nick has been signing in the back right now. We're getting out. We got to this point a little bit faster than expected. And let's go ahead and show all of the pictures that he's been signing now for the last about hour or so. And like I said, if you want it right now and if you want the personalizations, get him in right now, because as soon as I get him off camera, it's done, over with. Okay? So if you want this one, this particular one, just put Nick Black 15 in the comment section. If you want this one, put Nick Purple 15 in the comment section. And then, of course, if you want the white one, put Nick White 15 in the comment section. And then if you want the art piece, don't forget about that for 30, put NWA Art 30. And if you want any of these personalized, that's an extra $5. Let's go ahead and flash that graphic up one more time to show everybody. And as we get Nick out here, right now. So if you want those opportunities, we're good to go. And right now, we're back. Nick, your hand.
I'm signing like a madman in there.
Yeah, did you get all of them
No,
done?
not yet.
Not yet.
We're about halfway through.
See, that's the thing at Highspots. We work you to death.
I see that.
Can you see it in my eyes? Absolutely. But we have 3 auction items, and they're actually kind of items that are kind of connected to your time in NWA. And we're going to start with this Turnbuckle Pad, actually. This wonderful Turnbuckle Pad. The bids are going to start at $5. While those bids are coming in, just kind of explain this item. This is signed by you and James Storm.
So I'm going to go ahead and guess that was from Into the Fire.
Yeah, that is correct.
Ah.
I'm glad you know your title history. I know it as well, so I know that match quite well. But this was actually ring-used Turnbuckle Pad signed by you and James Storm. Just talk about that particular match, and this was like the first pay-per-view in that studio for NWA. Talk about the history of that.
Well, it's certainly not the first time that me and Cowboy have hooked it up in the ring, but it was the first time that we had in the NWA Power studio, and it was. Every time that we've faced each other over the years, it's always been physical. We have a real. We're very good opponents for each other, because we're obviously very contrasting in terms of personality and style, but our styles also clash in the right way, and it was a brutal match. It was very physical. I remember him going flying into the Christmas tree, and I took a suplex on the floor and a few other big hard bumps, and it was, by the end of that, I knew I'd been in a match, that's for sure. But yeah, for me, I was proud of that because it was the first pay-per-view of the Power era, and it was really well received. We did a good buy rate on it, and for us, that's we're just anytime that we can have those sort of milestone moments for the NWA and the brand, then as the world champion, obviously that's a proud moment for me.
Absolutely. Let's see if anybody's gonna have a proud moment by winning this. And where are we at on the bids right now, Michael?
Currently, it's up to $150 from Anthony Turbocast.
Okay, Anthony Turbocast has got a $150 right now.
Is that his real name?
It's his face. It's his Facebook
Anthony
name.
Turbocast.
There's some people that have Facebook names and then the real names. So
it could be a character on Disney cars, Lightning McQueen, Anthony Turbocast.
You are definitely a dad. Just by that is a dad thing to say. So what type of cartoons are you watching with your young lad?
Lightning McQueen was. I mean, we might have single-handedly increased the stock price in Disney just from the Lightning McQueen stuff that we've had to buy over the last year, but. The latest one is Toy Story.
Okay.
He kind of got started a bit late on that, because with kids that age, he's 5, so it's like they go through these phases where once he's picked something, it's like that's all he wants to see. But we got him onto. I showed him Toy Story 1 probably about a year ago, and I just saw this light bulb go off, and then so that's very much the new thing as far as all the toys and the pajamas and the merch and everything like that. So
is he a Buzz Lightyear or is he a Woody kid?
I don't know if he really has a preference on it. I think he's
so?
Because he saw them all together.
Uh-huh.
So I think he doesn't really see them as rivals. He sort of sees them as like a tag team almost.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So he sees them more as Demolition as opposed to Flair Steamboat.
Yeah.
Get it. Where are we at on the bids right now?
We're still there, so let's put 60 seconds on this one.
Come on,
Okay.
Turbocast.
Turbocast, right at the top with right. We're gonna burn through these as fast as possible. So. NWA Turnbuckle Pads, and that's the thing with Power. They got a very unique look, the old school feel. Like when you walk into that studio for the first time and seeing the presentation, how it looked. So talk about what that felt like.
I spend a lot of time studying studio wrestling. For me, a lot of the iconic promos, that really just sort of live forever in the minds of me and other wrestling fans are Dusty and Flair, and for me, a promo, the interview promos are really, to me, can't be touched. It's one thing to have a guy walk out to the ring with a mic, and if you're The Rock or somebody who has that ability to hold an arena in the palm of your hand, that's cool. But for me, the communication of one man down the lens with a stick man, speaking on behalf of the audience and kind of driving the interview, that to me is sort of the essence of a wrestling promo. So that was what I was really looking forward to. So when I came in and I saw the podium and the set and the design of it all and the feel, it was this. I remember just having this sort of real rush of excitement, just thinking, wow, I never thought that I would get to sort of live this myself. I was just sort of, this would be the thing that I would study, and I would have to try to make it my own in the modern era. And then when we recreated it in our own way, I was just, I mean, to me, that we have footage of Jim Cornette walking in And his reaction really summed it up. He just sort of looked around, holy, and it was like he looked like a kid on Christmas, and that's how we all felt.
So let's see if Anthony Turbocast is going to have a wonderful Christmas.
Let's go to 10 seconds.
We're 10 seconds, and it's going to be 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Anthony Turbocast 150 on this NWA Turnbuckle Pad, signed by Nick Aldis and James Storm from Into the Fire, ring used. Okay. We burned through a lot of turnbuckle pads earlier, but we actually...
I heard that.
We did. We're done with turnbuckle pads completely now, but what we're going to move right now, we have another auction item, and we were just talking about power. This is actually...
Hold on. We got the same thing. We waited 10 minutes for people to bid on Anthony Turbocast.
Oh, do I have to bring it back up?
10-second countdown. Now we got to see if people were in or out.
Okay. Are we in or out?
Hold on,
we do this thing that's called mob rules. Okay, whatever the internet says, we go do that. Okay,
That sounds like a recipe for success.
Yeah, exactly. Especially for an internet company.
Wait, what's the internet saying?
What is the internet saying?
Everyone's saying it's late, so
it's late.
Except the guy who bid. So.
Okay, all right. Well, if that's
of course he's going to say that.
Of course. So there we go. The internet wins again. Good or bad. But we have now, the next item we brought out is a signed poster by everybody involved in the power tapings in December. As the bids are coming in, talk about some of the talent that was brought together for these power tapings in the power era of the NWA.
I've always believed that one of the strongest areas of the NWA has been, for lack of a better term, our casting. I always felt like we amassed this roster of just killer promos, killer in-ring performers, but more importantly, all distinctive in their own way. Like when you think about the sort of what we call our murderer's row of promo guys, and it's like Eli, myself, James Storm, Tim Storm, Aaron Stevens, Eddie Kingston. I mean, they're all guys who you can just do. Red Light Fever can talk, no script, no prompts, no bullet points, no nothing, but they're all doing it in their own way, and they've all got this sort of authenticity about them, and this, this delivery that just sucks people in and kind of, puts an ass every 18 inches, but all unique in their own way. And for us, like, that's really what set us apart, I think, was the collection of guys who are all masters of their own domain and their own characters,
Absolutely. Let's see if we have any masters of the domain right now on the poster
Lots of bids. The current high bid is John Huerta at 120.
John Huerta at 120 right now.
Who we got here signed?
We got Cole Cabana. We got Rock and Roll Express. A very dapper looking individual right in the middle. I don't know.
Some handsome
devil with an NWA belt on his
looking
hand.
For some of the more obscure signatures here. We got Colby Carino, is that?
Yes, Colby Carino up in the corner.
He had a hell of a showing with George South. Oh, what else we got here?
Allison Kay also too.
Yes, yeah. Man, there's a
Experience
lot
of
of
real lag,
signatures.
'cause we get some people that are bidding like lower than what we even call out, even though
We're catching.
Rob Mack is currently at 165.
165 is where we're at right now. And you talk about obscure names, but a man who's not obscure anymore. And you just mentioned him as far as like Murderer Rose of promos. Guy that you listed off all those guys, and the guy that sticks out to me is Eddie Kingston. Been one of the best promo guys for years, and now I think people are starting to recognize it through NWA Power. Can you just talk about first time listening to that man talking to a camera?
Jeez, here's the thing with Eddie Kingston is that anything you hear him say, it's coming from here. He is as authentic as anybody you'll see in the business. His delivery is second to none. I mean, he is absolutely, in my opinion, in the conversation for best promo in the entire business. Certainly one of the most effective, and ultimately best is a subjective thing, but effectiveness, I think it's pretty hard to argue that he's right up there with anyone, because when he talks you listen, and to me it's sometimes I think a lot of guys get sucked into this idea of let's do what a version of a good promo is supposed to be. Eddie Kingston ain't working like that. He's talking, that's just who he is 24/7. It's but just Red Light Fever, man. When the camera's rolling, you can rely on Eddie Kingston.
Absolutely. And who can we rely now on these bids right now, Michael?
Current high bid is Jay Odie at 180.
Jay Odie got us all the way to 180 right now.
Jay Odie at 180. Say that 3 times fast.
You have no idea how many P's I had to say earlier. Pins, power. It was it was a debacle earlier.
We haven't mentioned one person who is a really, really integral part of the
tell me.
NWA team, though. It's Maureen.
Maureen Tracy.
Oh,
It's
okay.
It's Queen Maureen.
Queen
Maureen.
Maureen.
She's been dying to get on camera.
I've been saying Miss
here.
Maureen. I didn't realize
She's
it's
been-
Queen Maureen. That makes more sense.
She's been dying to come in here and
Obviously by
get
that
in
big
front
red
of-
face she's
get in
got
front
right
of her
now,
adoring
so-
fans, haven't you,
Okay,
Maureen?
hi.
There she is.
Buy some shit, bid on some
If you
stuff.
can hear me off
Thank
camera,
You.
thank you so much for
Yeah.
Maureen about putting this episode together.
She did.
This was almost when we were thinking about July 4th. We were like, what can we do to not make this a throwaway? And Maureen
Thanks, Nick.
stepped up for us.
Okay,
Yes.
great.
Definitely did. So all
Thanks,
the wonderful
guys.
items that you saw in the beginning, that's because of Maureen. And all you guys that got the end to the
And
fire.
that wasn't scripted. She came up with that really profound sentence there.
There were some Eddie
Life and
Kingston
shit.
vibes there.
She came
just as
she
much
came up
anger
with that
right there.
right off
there.
the top of her head.
She came with that from the heart.
I mean,
for
no
sure.
script, no filter.
No filter, none whatsoever.
That's a professional right there.
That's why we love her. That's why.
Rob Mack is
You
back
can't
in the
teach
lead
that
at
kind of
190.
promo.
All right, we're at 190 with Rob Mack right now on the poster right here, right now.
Real wordsmith.
Yes, a man who's struggling with words. That's what I am. Wait till hour 3.5 of this. As I look
Having
at
difficulty with complex idioms.
oh, I am. I most certainly am. But as I look at the poster and I see Rock and Roll Express on it, seeing somebody who's I think that's a beautiful thing of this new NWA, especially the Power era, is incorporating some of the old with the new, which is what we're trying to do here today. But the idea of bringing out Rock and Roll Express and incorporating them in the new. Talk about that.
Well, to me, there are the word icon gets thrown around a lot.
Yep.
And the word legend gets thrown around a lot. But I think you'd have to look long and hard to find anyone who would dispute the fact that Ricky and Robert are 100% icons of the entire business, but certainly of the NWA. And so for us, the fact that they're still active, we didn't include Ricky in that conversation of promo guys too. It's like he's another guy who you can send him out, no script, no filter, no direction, just go, and you can, he's going to put butts in seats. He's just, you can't teach what they have, and hopefully they can teach just a little bit of what they have to some of our future generations, especially tag teams, because tag team wrestling is such an art, and like I've a good chunk of my career was tag team wrestling, so I have a real sort of deep appreciation for guys who committed just to that particular skill set and that particular art, because it really is, it's a whole different ball game to do real, genuine, beautiful tag team wrestling, and Rock and Roll Express are arguably the best to ever do it.
Absolutely, and down to a science. So I saw Robert Gibson explain to a young tag team, like, no. When you're on the apron for hot tag, you need to be on this side of the apron, so that way you can come in a little bit easier and get right to it.
I think sometimes they don't even realize how good they are.
Yeah,
because it's so much of their stuff is just sort of permanently burned into their brain, and into it's become instinctive for them. So sometimes they don't even know how good they are, and how much, how many details that they're just sort of glossing over when they're teaching guys, because and when you see them sort of with the gears turning, and I've had the great pleasure of being in the ring with them, both Ricky in a singles and with them in a tag, and it's effortless for them, man. I mean, it's just again, you can't teach reps, and I don't know if you'll ever get two guys who have the reps that they have ever again in this business, just because of the way the schedules work now. You're talking about guys who for decades pretty much wrestled every day, twice on Sunday, so it's like that's you can't teach that,
especially guys that are doing it still today. Where are we at right now?
Brand new name bid at $200, Vinay Mehta.
Okay, Vinay Mehta, $200.
And then Rob Mack said, nope, I'm going to get this one, so he's at $215. Rob Mack.
Rob Mack, $215. Vinay, let us know if you're in or out. It is, that's right. It's heating up right now for this NWA poster, signed by all the participants from the December taping.
Nicholas Michael in at $220.
Nicholas Michael at $220. This is where the bids are starting to come in and file in as well.
Rob Mack down at $230.
Rob Mack down to $230. So we're going back and forth right now. You've done a couple of these tapings already. We're kind of on a bit of a pause right now at the NWA.
Sure.
What are some things that the NWA has done to kind of keep yourself prevalent in this time? I think a lot of people are doing podcasts and keeping their name out there and getting things going. Obviously, you showing up here today, big help. I'm sure.
Sure. Yeah, we had rolled out really an entire new kind of content strategy while we were sort of in the restrictions of COVID, and we had my show, What's Causing All This. Pins available now, by the way.
Okay.
Right, yeah. And yeah, we had some other shows inside the NWA and Girl Power, and really just a way for us to try and keep our fans engaged, because one thing that we really appreciate is that we've worked really hard for the best part of 3 years, some of us, to really resurrect this brand from scratch. And there are fans who have been with us from day one, through the 10 pounds of gold era, and then there are new fans that kind of came on after All In, and then again after NWA 70, and it's just slowly over time. And then we had a big sort of influx, in the Power when we first debuted Power. I mean, at one point, I think our strongest growth period, I think we added sort of 70,000 subscribers in like 14 days. So we appreciate that we've done the legwork now, and now it's just a case of us trying to really cultivate and nurture that audience and keep growing it. But we are, I mean, always looking to do something else, to add value. We're in the midst now of figuring out some empty arena stuff, because we realize that at this point it's kind of unavoidable. We had hoped, I think, in the beginning that we might be able to kind of tread water, with some other content and some different things to keep our fans interested and engaged. And now I think we've realized, okay, they want to see us wrestle, because this is the NWA, damn it.
Exactly.
They want to see us wrestle.
And of all the companies, as we get, it's going to be a long time before we get to thousands of people. With your formula of small studio wrestling, the NWA probably can come back in its most full incarnation before all of this, before most other places.
We have talked about that. It does seem like we probably we're in that respect in a little bit of a better spot.
Yes.
Like we have a bit more of a chance to sort of get closer to what people recognize as our brand and our product. But even that's going to be a challenge, in the short term. But we've been playing around with some really exciting ideas for how to do, because look, one thing that we take pride in is we put our own twist on the business. We've taken people who kind of refer to us as like, oh, they're a throwback. They're not quite getting the full picture, and a lot of the time that might be someone who's just seen a clip or seen the studio or seen one match or something. But if you really really take a good look at what we're doing, it's the traditional values, like good promos, storytelling, like serious sort of athleticism and drama, but done, delivered in a modern way. So now we're looking at the empty arena era and going, okay, how can we put our own NWA twist on that? And we're getting there. I'm very excited about some of the things that we're kicking around at the moment.
Absolutely. Let's see where these bids are kicking around right now.
Just since the last time we went to it, Nicholas Michael went up to 235, and then Rob Mack right back in the lead at 250, and that's where we've been holding. I put a 30-second.
Okay, we're on 30 seconds right now.
30 seconds.
At 250 right now. Robert Mack. Right now we're very close to that, and so we're ready to give this to you, Robert Mack. And we've got one more item for you before we get you out of here, so I'm not going to take up too long, and I'm gonna let you guess what this particular item is here in a second, but in about 30 seconds, we're ready for 10 seconds now, in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations, Robert Mack, 250. This NWA Power poster is yours, sir. Now, like I said, this is the last item before I let you go off and do the personalizations that have come in for all of the 8x10s. And there's been a lot of them, I'm sure. But I want you to, I don't know if you can guess what this is.
I'm going to go ahead and guess that that's a ring skirt.
You were right. You were correct. And I'm not going to hound you too much on what ring skirt this is.
Well, looking at it's not from Power.
No.
So that would eliminate. I don't think that's from Crockett. I'm going to go and say NWA 70.
Correct, sir. Correct, sir. This is an NWA 70th ring apron. This is a different one than we auctioned off a few weeks ago. Let's go and get a shot of this one so everybody can see it unfurl.
Is this the one that says like legacy or tradition? Or?
You even got the one correct. It was a 50-50 shot from there. You picked the legacy one. Legacy. This is the legacy side. Nick, you are a soothsayer of some sort. You are a clairvoyant, my friend. You figured it out. Bids are coming in right now. Maybe you can even pick out what this ends up going for price-wise. But yeah, NWA 70th, where you won the NWA title in the National Fairgrounds. Talk about that particular moment and how special that was to your career.
Well, I mean, yeah, it was definitely a milestone moment for us. It was our first standalone pay-per-view in the modern era for the NWA, and it was the rematch, from All In. There's this sort of rivalry that really in a short space of time with one match, but with really more based on the build up to that match at All In between Cody and I. This rivalry had sort of suddenly taken on this kind of higher status, and so we knew that there was a pressure on us to deliver, and then we said, okay, how can we evolve the rivalry? What do we do with the second match? Well, we think we came to the agreement that it's the NWA, it's the 70th anniversary, it's the tradition, it's all the things that the NWA represent, but also the things that Cody and I hold dear as far as taking pride in our work and our rivalry and the NWA and the title, and because it meant a lot to him as well, given his family and everything. And so we said 2 out of 3 falls. That's the thing that set it apart. And to me, it's hard for me to pick one particular match, but it could well be that at this point the best match of my career. I think it's probably the match I'm most proud of, just given given what we did with we crammed so much into 3 falls, and each fall was so different. The first fall was very cagey, very chess match, very sort of wrestling oriented. The second fall is just this wild brawl all over the building. But it was done in context. It made sense. It wasn't kind of garbage wrestling for the sake of garbage wrestling. It was
okay, let's fill some time here.
Yeah,
we got a long match.
It spilled over, and it was and Earl Hebner was the referee, and he made the call like, I'm not counting him out, I'm going to let him go. And we were able to just Cody and I both love to throw in little things to pay homage to the guys that have come before us, so we were able to throw in little kind of references here and there, like we did that. We had a little moment at the concession stand, tip of the hat to the legendary concession stand brawl, and just a lot of little things like that. And it was also the debut of Camille, which was another wrinkle, and again it all followed on from the All In match, because it was it was my protection against Brandy's involvement, and it was just all the things that we did. Just every time Cody and I have interacted, there's just a sort of intangible with us, where it's a natural rivalry, and everything just kind of fits. Nothing ever really feels forced or really even takes that much effort to come up with. It's just kind of there. And I think that when you have those situations, they're so rare, but you can feel it, and then the audience can feel it. And we set a box office record for wrestling at the Nashville Fairgrounds. So given the history and the names that have been in that place, for wrestling, obviously that's a very cool little feather in the cap. Yeah.
Well, let's see if we're setting any records right now in the bids.
I'll just give the history of the bidding here. Tim Talby started us out at $50.
Tim Talby, $50. One going to get it done.
John Huerta went up to $100.
John Huerta, I recognize it was more than that. Got us to $100. Thank you.
Anthony TurboCast went up to $140.
Anthony TurboCast still got some cash at $140.
John Huerta responded at $160.
John Huerta's got us $160.
Anthony went back to $180.
Anthony came back $180.
John went to $200.
We're at $200, which is we're getting close.
Anthony back at $220.
Okay, we're at $220 with
John
Anthony.
$225.
$225.
We got a new name, Brandon Bates at $230.
Okay.
Anthony at $240. John at $250. And that's where we're at right now. $250 to John Huerta.
John Huerta, $250 is where we sit on this NWA ring skirt. The legacy one, we have already auctioned off for tradition one. This is the legacy one. We've talked about the history of the Nashville Fairgrounds. There were a lot of dignitaries in the house that night. I believe Dory Funk Jr. was there.
Dory Funk Jr., Blue Demon Jr. was there. Who else? Jeff Jarrett was there. Again, that's just something that we've always taken pride in, is celebrating the history, in a way that kind of brings it all together, So for us, this is our most valuable asset, you know, because it's every now and then we'll get someone who'll say, isn't it time that you updated the belt? You know, and we'll go, would you update the Stanley Cup? You know, the Super Bowl, you know, or the World Cup. No, like this is the iconic trophy of the business, and it's like, for me, I can, you know, the fact that I can see iconic images of Flair holding this, or Dusty holding this, you know, guys like that, and then I'm holding it. There's the value right there, you know, and like this ring apron says, it's legacy. And for this particular event, it's the legacy of Cody and his father and his family. It's the legacy of the NWA, but it's also my legacy, because it's kind of my, you know, I had done the legwork to get us to a point where there was interest again, and then the rivalry with Cody and I had kind of put it to another level. So then when I'm able to sort of win the title back, and now it was a sort of, for me, it was a flag in the ground. Like, this is my legacy now, you know, and I represent this, and I'm going to do it, you know, better than anyone. And that's what this represents to me.
Anthony's at 260, but just because we're winding things out, could we just show the photos and the artwork one last time?
Okay,
last call on.
This is the last call of the photos and the artwork, which I put over here. This is what I did. The bids are we're right now at 260 right now. Who's at the top bid right now?
It just jumped up to 280 to Ty Hardison.
Ty Hardison at 280. They were working our way up slowly, but while those bids are coming in, as a reminder, if you want an opportunity to get the signed 8x10s, this one right here, you just got to put in the comment section Nick White 15. If you want this one right here, just put in Nick Purple 15. And of course, this is my favorite. I don't know where you stand on this.
That's my
Nick.
favorite too.
It is my favorite too, for sure. This is Nick Black 15. Just put that in right there. And of course, this wonderful art piece just appeared today with this NWA art piece for $30. Let me go on the wide shot so you get a better shot of this.
I love this. This is so great.
Yeah, it's a wonderful art piece.
This is a guy. This is an artist called Kiro Weck. He was doing stuff and just putting it on Instagram, and I just started noticing it, and he was doing some amazing stuff. And I actually have a T-shirt and an 8x10, which is, he did it as sort of, it's a blueprint design where he sort of basically suggesting that I'm the sort of blueprint of the current sort of NWA, and you know, and I loved it so much that I bought the rights to it to do a T-shirt and poster on it. But this is the same thing. He just did this picture, and we reached out and said we want to use that for sure, because I mean, that's just, to me, like, that's just such a keeper.
Yeah, this was amazing. Like, a lot of wrestling fans are extremely talented. And they're always putting stuff online. And I know a lot of people that have gotten their T-shirts for something they saw on an Instagram post.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I dig your art.
Yeah.
Can you do this for me? You know, and like, hey, I like this art. Can you make the graphic for my podcast?
One of the rare positives from the social media age.
Absolutely. and one of the rare things, like right now, we've been, you know, here at Highspots, we've been paying a lot of artists for art pieces for the virtual gimmick table and stuff like that. So it's just all.
Anthony Turbocast is up to $300.
Anthony Turbocast got us up to $300 on this ring skirt right here for the Legacy leg skirt. That whole speech about how important this match was in the Legacy end of the day, that just the bids. You jacked it up.
I mean, that's what I'm here for, isn't it?
I might be able to slide an extra 5 ski in your before we get you out of here.
Double my pay?
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm the promoter of $5 wrestling. An extra 5 is hard to come by with me. But yeah, all the just the wonderful art pieces that we've had on the virtual gimmick table. I think this is one of the best for sure. Absolutely. But with the NWA and a lot of the history and incorporating a lot of people, but you name checked it a little bit earlier and you talked about it. I want to kind of rewind back to it. You were talking about girl power and the like you talk about the importance of legends, but also the NWA is taking very serious women's wrestling.
Yep.
And obviously it's very near and dear to your heart and your family as well, women's wrestling and the support of it. Talk about how the NWA and its support for girl power, how important that is.
Well, I think we've just naturally, from the beginning, once we got to a point where we were able to grow our roster, you know, obviously, really at first, the NWA wasn't really a traditional promotion, where it was more of a, well, I guess it was more of a promotion in the sort of boxing sense. Like we promoted matches. Yes. You know, we didn't have a roster of talent and, you know, things of that nature, which people sort of associate now with a wrestling promotion. We were kind of more like a prize fight promotion in the sense that I was under contract to the NWA as the world champion, but everybody else we were just kind of working with on a sort of show by show basis in a very sort of prize fight kind of situation, you know. And but once we took the plunge with our own standalone pay-per-view, and then Power. Now we could start to sort of amass a roster, and I think that we took the same approach to the women that we did with the men, which was let's amass a team of women who are all different, stand out in their own ways, have their own unique characters, but have authenticity to them and represent different walks of life. And the one thing we really wanted, like we do with, again, we don't look at our women's roster as some sort of novelty or sort of separate. We just look at it in the same way that we look at the men's roster. So we went, hey, what we want to stand out with is our promo ability. So we want girls who can really cut promos, and that's where Allison Kay really stands out. Thunder Rosa is obviously just, to me, Thunder Rosa has probably had the biggest kind of rise in visibility and popularity as a result of being with the NWA as anyone. Marty Bell, Melina, and now Camille, she started her journey in a different way, but now has sort of become a fully fledged member of the sort of women's division. And just listing those 5 off, I mean, there's all of those women, totally different, all represent sort of different interests, different walks of life, different approaches, different styles in the ring, and but they can all talk and they can all sell tickets, and that's really what we're in the business of here. Is we want a talent roster who can, at any given moment, talk the people into the building and get them invested in a match, rather than it's we're not interested in putting matches on for the sake of matches. We want matches that audience are going to be invested in and want to see pay off.
Todd Hardison's at 320.
320.
320 right now. We're close to 60 seconds.
60 seconds. I'll give everybody a chance to.
Okay, we're at
respond
60
to
seconds right now.
320.
Gives everybody more than enough time to do that. And like I said, we can start that 60 second.
What do we got here? A Mongrovian flag.
We got a Mongolian flag, yes, signed by
I like
Aaron
that.
Stevens and question mark. They only sold one. We
Look
only
at-
sold one.
Look
Yeah, I
at
don't
this.
know.
Look at this signature right there. Like, what is this? Come on. What is this?
Question. Don't get me wrong. Like, as many things as you had to sign, would you wish your signature?
I've
was
been
so-
looking. I've been looking for Mongrovia on the map, and
I
I,
know.
still haven't been able to find it.
I haven't figured it
I
out
must
either.
not have an updated.
And are we
atlas.
sure it said Mongrovian? Like, 'cause I was afraid I was saying it wrong earlier and offending all Mongrovians.
Now,
alike.
is this being sold in US dollars or Mongroves?
No,
Which
U.S.
is the-
dollars?
oh,
So
okay.
you know the Mongrovian.
The exchange rate
it
is just outrageous.
outrageous.
No, it's not even worth your time.
You don't even want to know what a car costs there. It's ridiculous. They've got one car, and
Yeah.
they just buy it one at a time when they need it.
Right.
They transfer the lease over.
Yeah, you
It's
see.
the most ridiculous place I've ever seen before.
Yeah, it's definitely a
30
little
seconds.
behind the times.
Absolutely a little bit behind the times, but what's not behind the times is we're at the 30-second
I
mark
love
right now.
your segues are just. I mean, they're another level.
Really?
Just letting-
Well, that's
what's not behind the times.
What's
is
not
this.
Sometimes I reach a little far in these segues.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I'm not sure how an apron can really be in front or behind the times, but be that as it may,
We'll see. Yeah.
I don't want to cut you off.
It's quite okay.
We've got about 10 seconds
We're
left.
about 10 seconds.
Get those
left.
bids in.
We'll get those bids in. We're going to get the 10-second clock right now. We're over 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations. Forgot the name already.
Yeah, hold on.
Todd Hardison, you got this ring apron.
Todd Ski.
Todd Ski.
We're just waiting to make
We're
sure
just
there's
waiting for the confirmation. Make sure we don't have to do any more mob rules like we did earlier. But it's very embarrassing when we have to go back and go forth. But it sounds like everything's settled. We're taken care of. We got all the auction items.
We're done?
You and I are done unless if you got some more
No.
things to sign back there. I think you have some
Well, I have some more
personaliza-
stuff to sign.
You have some
yeah,
more
but,
stuff to sign. You have some personalizations to take
I
care
don't get
of.
paid by the word.
You do not.
If I did, I'd be a rich man.
You'd be such a rich man right now, but I appreciate you expressing those words and being such
Sure.
a wordsmith and keeping me honest with my segues. I appreciate
No
that
worries.
very greatly. It looks like we're good to go. So let's go ahead and put up that graphic. Thank you very much, Nick. I appreciate it so much. If you want one more opportunity to get these Nick promos, personalizations are done. They're off the table. If you're interested in getting the Nick Black promo with the black background, just put Nick Black 15. We also have Nick White 15, Nick Purple 15, and let's go ahead and get to our next. Like I said, if you want the NWA art piece, just put NWA art 30, and then of course, like I said,
Oh, Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
go ahead.
oh, that's me.
I've been.
man,
okay,
I've
let's
been
get back
waiting.
on camera. I've been waving. We were in a graphic. I
Oh,
was waving you
I was
over.
gonna-
You didn't come over.
No, I didn't
Which
listen.
makes you more like my father, unattentive. I
Yeah.
appreciate
God,
that.
Yeah,
You know,
oh, you meant me.
yeah,
Okay.
I was like, come please, I need you desperately right now, Dad.
No
Please,
ring
come to-
music?
No,
No.
ring music. We're in
Okay.
the office right here. Like I said,
No.
we were
Okay.
celebrating.
I was going to
the-
trip like brother did with the
Shockmaster.
Shockmaster. I was going to trip, but
Shock
I wouldn't have
master.
got back up.
Okay.
Anyway, we're here.
Huh?
We're ready to go.
Fix the apron. What? Hand you
Oh,
the apron. Okay. I'm taking
We'll
it.
fix it.
When people just point like this, I don't know what you're talking about. All right, just
Yeah,
to let
let's
you
do-
know.
okay.
There's a lot.
We're here?
There's a lot going on right now. So okay.
Are we ready?
I don't
Are
know.
we ready?
I thought we were ready, but then they just started pointing at a random thing on the table, and I don't know what they wanted.
But look, you ain't even said nothing about my scarf. This is for Jericho.
What do you mean
Look,
this scarf?
This is
You always
my
wear a
Jericho
scarf.
scarf. I'm trying to get booked. Not AEW. I'm just trying to get on that boat.
I'm already banned from AEW. I
Well,
did that
no.
Cody impersonation, and also I'm friends with Sandy Caleb, so I'm done with
I'm
AEW.
trying to get on the boat.
You trying to
Okay,
get on
I'm
the-
trying to get booked on the
trying to
boat.
boat?
I got a band. I'll find a band.
find
Something,
a- something,
outlaw Kiss group.
Okay.
Okay, Jericho, this is for you. Okay, we're ready. Bullet.
We're
Got a
ready?
little bit of everything. Bullet. I got the second greatest book ever written. Okay.
Well, let me do my
Oh,
whole
I'm sorry.
spiel. Let me do my
Oh,
whole
you
spiel.
got- okay.
I have notes here. This is not Dad You Work Your Wrestle.
Oh, I hate
even,
notes.
Even though we have the, would you like me to roll it up on
Oh,
a piece of
yeah.
paper? Because this
Yeah.
is the NWA show.
Oh,
where, listen,
gosh.
I'm important because I have a rolled up piece of paper. And to let you guys know,
You're like 12 agents.
This is the NWA show, and because of the NWA show, we are celebrating the new and the old of the NWA.
Yes.
Sorry, you're
Thanks.
old.
I got to save it again.
And between you and
Okay.
me, and we put you here.
But Bullet, you know I never left.
You
I
never-
never left the NWA. It left me.
As you said
Okay?
in that
That's very good.
classic
Thank
NWA
you.
Power
Thank you
promo.
so much for that, Bullet.
Classic.
Thank you.
NWA.
Thank you.
I had Cole Cabana tell me that promo gave him chills.
Oh, I'm going to start crying.
He said
Go.
George South at the NWA Power tapings killed it.
Oh.
He said it's the most
I'm
incredible
done.
thing you've ever seen.
I'm going to start crying. Bullet.
Anything.
Okay.
But of course, you've been a part of the legendary history of the NWA.
Yes, yes,
and,
yeah.
and so we figured who better to represent
And-
the new and the old is you. George
And boy, this is a very quick, true story because we're not even official yet.
we're
Actually,
official. We're
that
official.
day when we were doing those early promos, the young lady that worked for NWA was a very young lady and didn't know the history of it. And so as I sat down to do my interview, her first question was, what is your ambitions in the NWA? And I just kind of started laughing. And that's when I said, ma'am, I never left.
The same ambitions I had 30 years ago.
Yeah.
I just haven't achieved them yet.
I'm still working on them ambitions, okay?
You and me
So,
both. I've
no.
accomplished very little in my life.
No. So it was amazing for her to realize that I had been, doing it for so long, and of course the NWA, of course, my life, it was it. I mean, to be able to be in love with it and to be able to wrestle for the NWA was a very, very special thing. So
Absolutely,
we're
very
here
special.
tonight. So
And this is a
I'm
very-
happy to be the back end of the NWA.
But here's the thing: we're celebrating the new and the old, and you're part of the new and the old. George.
Yes.
And much like when we had. Nick
I just
on here,
won't go away.
You just won't go away.
Nick,
but
look, I'm holding this. This is how Nick was holding his belt.
And that book is just
Okay.
as important.
Oh, yeah,
If you don't mind me. I know.
Oh, no, you can't.
I'll take it right here because
Yeah.
you also have been signing Furious.
Yes, I
And
have. Oh.
You have your things that are available throughout
Cody
the show,
Rhodes, who?
and we'll go ahead and put that graphic up right now. George has multiple promos that are available right now. Of course, you have your book available
Yes,
for
second greatest
$25. You also have a jacket promo, which we're calling.
And this was done at the Squared Circle tapings. Remember?
Yes,
did I say that right? Squared Circle. Remember, I
Circle
want to say
Square,
Circle
Square,
Circle Square. Yes.
Circle Square.
I can't even mess it up.
You can't mess it up.
But that was done right after that great match with
Yes,
Cody
the
Green right there. So
the
that's
George
official.
jacket promo is from the NWA Circle Square taping. If you want that is $15. If you want a picture of George in the claw hold, that is $15. He's got Ricky Morton right
Yes,
there
Ricky
in the
Morton.
claw hold. And of course, there's the nice picture of George about ready to enter a cage match.
Yes.
So we have Cage 15. Just put George Cage 15.
Bully, I shared this a little bit earlier just about this picture, if I can.
Yeah,
You know,
go
what was
right
so
ahead.
amazing is they will be able to tell this was probably one of the biggest high school gyms and one of the prettiest in Virginia. And we had actually done a fundraiser, and as you can see, there is nobody there. And it did
I was
not
going to say,
draw-
I was like, you
it-
said
it
it's
did
one of the
not draw
biggest.
nothing.
There's nobody there.
And I'll never forget, when I first saw it, it brought back all these memories. The athletic director, I'll never forget it that night. They didn't promote it. And so he asked me, when will we do the split? I'll never forget that. So I said, sir, what do you mean? He said, well, when we're going to do the split? Literally, there were 5 people that bought a ticket to this
to this
So
event.
so this looking out into the distance right here, this look on your face.
I cannot-
Let's get a closer look
Oh.
of you just looking right there. So that
there
far
is
off
no-
look, that's you looking for the people that
Oh,
aren't
yes.
there. That's
And-
you
and-
looking
and
for
both-
people that
it's
aren't
both
out there.
sides of the bleachers. You know how they
Yes.
know it's going to be sold out, so they open both sides of the bleachers. And we did a cage match, me and Italian Stain. If you notice, we put a cage up because we fulfilled our end of it.
Yes, you
Not
did.
that it made any difference, but there was no split, and we did get a few dollars later on that. But I'll never forget that because the athletic director got so mad because he wanted to know when, do you do the split before or after? There was no split. And he was the athletic director. We found the posters in the desk drawer of the high school. He didn't put any of them out. So yeah, some things never change.
Absolutely, but we're gonna do a little bit of trying to get as many dollars as we possibly can for
Oh,
these
yeah.
pictures. George, I'm gonna let you go off camera. I got some more stuff to sell. Oh, don't worry.
You're firing me from the NWA?
I'm not fired.
Okay.
Yeah, I have some stuff to sell that is not
Okay.
North South related.
Okay,
I'm
I
gonna
understand.
give you a little bit break because George, we're gonna go not the hot start. We're gonna go to the tag section next.
Yes.
But I'm gonna need
go short on.
I'm gonna need you to get some rest. We're gonna go because I got some stuff to sell. And when
Okay.
you come back out here, come out with all this energy again.
I'm ready,
Because
yes.
we're gonna be 3.5 hours in. So
got a mountain.
let's go ahead and put that graphic
Thank
up
you.
right now of George. We got that graphic up right now.
And I'll
So-
see you in a little bit.
a little
right,
bit. You see
both?
me in a little bit.
Okay,
Absolutely.
thank you so
for
much.
that. And if you're interested in any of these pictures right here, if you're interested in the George South book, that is $25. If you're interested in the George jacket, it is $15. If you're interested in the George Claw picture, it is $15. And if you're interested in the George Cage picture, that is $15 as well. And guess what? Special tonight, just specifically on George, no extra charge for personalizations. If you want George to personalize his book, or hit any of the pictures that I have available for you, no extra charge. He will right there, no extra charge. Just get him in as fast as possible because once we get the auctions in, we would want to get George out the door as quickly as possible and get me out the door as quick as possible. No extra charge on the George South personalizations here tonight. Personalization was a tougher word than I expected. But anyways, guys, we're back again. Not a hot start. This is a hot tag. George gave me the hot tag. I'm back in. I'm fresh. He gave me a little bit of break. Now I've come back in, and we got some more items that kind of represent the old school of the NWA. Not so much old, but honoring the tradition of the NWA. And we have a very special item. And we're going to start off at kind of a special deal. An item that's only $10, and it is a folded up poster. Much like the old days when you get the magazines and you get the insert inside and the folded up poster that you cut out in the centerfold. So it's kind of honoring that tradition. It is a folded up Jim Crockett Promotions poster. Only $10 just by putting sold. Folded up JCP poster 10 in the comment section. It is yours right out the door. Like I said, just the old days when you get the magazines. And you pull it out and you get the centerfold and you get that nice folded out poster. Well, you're getting this Jim Crockett Promotions nice collage poster for $10. Who's going to be the first person to put sold JCP poster 10 in the comments section here tonight in the hot tag section where we honor the tradition of the NWA? Who'll be the first person at all?
Let's get a lag. Hold on.
We're getting a lag. Michael says there's a lag. He's not saying, hey, this was an idea that Michael had. So he's standing by the side. Let's go get a closer look. This poster right here. Brandon Bates. We got Arn on here. We got Flair. Chris McCullough. Tully's on here. J. Odie.
Mark Revolver.
Okay, so we do have a lag. Okay. Miles Kane. Here we go.
Torres.
Ross Torres.
There we go. Aubrey Wright.
I knew we'd start off hot right here. $10. Folded Jim Crockett Promotions poster. $10 just by putting sold. Folded up Jim Crockett Promotions poster.
Daniel
10.
Brewer's 9.
Daniel Brewer's 9. We got plenty of them. They're going to come in, and we're going to let them come on in. Wow, let's move right along to a DVD special. Now, when we filmed the Jim Crockett Promotions documentary, the interviews were long and arduous, as Michael Elliott, our technical director, will tell you. And what he did is he basically took those interviews and created a set known as the Crockett Diaries, some of the more popular interviews from that. And what we're doing here tonight is we're going to take all 5 of these Crockett Diaries, and we're going to sell all of them, all 5 of them, combined $50 just by putting sold Crockett Diaries 50 in the comment section. Let's just go ahead. We got the Jim Crockett one right here. J.J. Dillon, Magnum TA, Rock and Roll Express, and of course Jim, David and Jackie, excuse me. Those interviews right here, you're getting all 5 of them for $50. Brandon Mueller, always on top of DVD specials. Thank you so much, Brandon. He's going to be the next person to pick up the Crockett Diaries for $50 by putting sold Crockett Diaries 50 in the comment section.
They're still recovering from the 20 to 25 posters we sold. So.
Okay, we got 20 to 25 posters. Good. Okay, those posters were Michael's idea. So when they weren't selling, I was very happy. But now Michael's extremely happy because he's like, I was right. So sometimes the virtual gimmick table is just a fight between me and Michael. I don't know if you guys know that or not.
Todd Hardison also bought a set of Crockett Diaries.
Todd Hardison, thank you so much. Picking up the Crockett Diaries. Like I said, it's 5 DVDs, $50. Full-length interviews. Right here. All right, well, that's good for now. We're going to keep it moving because George is already pacing. I left him off camera for 5 minutes. I still have more items to get to, and I have some very, very quality items here. So we were very fortunate to do a documentary on Harley Race. We were very fortunate to do one on the Funks, and we were also very fortunate to procure the Ric Flair shoot interview. And we were very lucky to have all of these. But guess what? Hopefully you're going to be lucky because we're going to combine all 3 of these. We got the Ric Flair shoot interview, the 3-disc set, and we've got that and the 2 documentaries for $50 just by putting sold Flair Funk Race DVDs 50 in the comment section. You're getting 2 documentaries, both of which are 2-disc set, and then you're getting a 3-disc Flair shoot. So you are getting 7 discs for $50. Just put Flair Funk Race DVDs 50 in the comment section. Just put sold Flair Funk Race DVDs 50 in the comment section. Let's get a closer look. Of course, like I said, the Funks documentary, Harley Race, the Flair 3-disc set available. You get all of these for $50 just by putting sold Flair Funk Race 50 in the comment section. It's going to be the first to jump over the 7 DVDs from some of the greatest NWA champions of all time, telling their story exactly from their lips to your ears.
A lot of our customers may already have a few of these. So.
Okay, we've been putting them out quite a bit, so I think most everybody's got them. So let's go ahead and move on. Got a couple more combos right here, and actually the next combo, this is an interesting combo. This is a combo that I fought to get on here. All right, like I said, sometimes it's a fight to get some of these items in here. What I have here, I actually have a signed picture of Jerry the King Lawler, and you're like, oh, Jerry the King Lawler, yeah, Memphis was a part of the NWA, and the way that you would know that is because he wrestled Harley Race for the NWA title for 60 minutes, and I have that on this particular DVD. So you get a Jerry Lawler signed picture and a DVD where he fought the NWA champion Harley Race, and you get these 2 items for $25 by putting sold Lawler combo 25 in the comment section. See an hour Broadway with Harley Race against Jerry the King Lawler and get an autograph of Jerry the King Lawler for $25.
As we wait for that, David Tucker bought the Flair Funk Race.
Thank you, David Tucker, for not making me seem silly for putting those together. But let's who's gonna get this? You can see Harley Race take on Jerry the King Lawler for an hour, and actually Lawler wrestles. It's Jerry Lawler versus the champions. So there's multiple matches on here. You get to see highlights of him versus Jack Briscoe, Harley Race, Nick Bockwinkel, Rick Martel, and of course the AWA match that Jerry won against Kurt Hennig. But the big selling point is the hour Broadway with Harley Race appearing right on the cover right there. And of course we're going to throw in an autograph as well for $25.
All right, we've had 2 so far. Brandon Mueller
always on top of the deals.
And then C. Joe MC.
See Joe, get a package in the mail with this Lawler combo in the mail. All right, I got one more combo here in the hot tag, and actually this is an item that was originally out of print DVD. We put some more together for you guys, and we threw in a very special book. Now, as you guys may or may not know, fans of the NWA, that the St. Louis territory was kind of considered like the proving ground. If you could make it in the St. Louis TV market, if you were the Missouri champion, you would eventually be considered of possibly being an NWA champion. And they would always bring the champion in for Checker Dome matches, and they would book some of the biggest NWA matches in the St. Louis territory. So there, and of course, Wrestling of the Chase was a big part of the NWA, and here is a book written by Larry Madisick himself about Wrestling at the Chase. And we're not just going to include this book. No, we're going to throw one of the biggest NWA title matches of all time. It is a 60-minute match with Ric Flair and Bruiser Brody. You get a book and the DVD, which includes a 60-minute Broadway with Ric Flair and Bruiser Brody for $30 by just putting sold Flair versus Brody DVD book 30 in the comment section. All you gotta do is put sold Flair versus Brody DVD and book 30 in the comment section.
Always first, Brandon Mueller.
Brandon Mueller, recognizing a deal and an opportunity to own one of the greatest, most storied NWA title matches of all time. When we sat down with Ric Flair and we started talking about some of his best title defenses, some of his biggest title defenses, Bruiser Brody was at the top of the list and wrestling for 60 minutes in the St. Louis territory. And of course, the history and Bruiser Brody and him being a big draw in the St. Louis territory and St. Louis being an integral part to the NWA history. You can read about it and you can see about it by just putting sold Flair Brody DVD book 30 in the comment section.
In addition to Brandon, Trevor Reed and Eli Eifert.
There you go, Trevor Reed. Trevor Reed's not going to miss out on a rare DVD. And of course, there's other matches on said DVD as well. You also get to see Ken Patera, Kevin Von Erich, Dick Murdoch,
James McCone.
Not on the DVD. James McCone picked up the DVD. Excuse me. It was weird. I said Kevin Von Erich, Dick Murdoch, James McComb, as if that was a selling point for a DVD. But I thank you very much for James for jumping in, picking up this book and DVD by putting in sold Flair Brody DVD book 30 in the comment section. Okay, let's go ahead and move to promo time, which honors the legends of the NWA. We're moving right along at a fast pace. George's going to get out of here real fast, and he just disappeared on me. But that's quite okay. But in the meantime, we got a hard five on this next individual. Hard five. It is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat with the NWA belt. $20. Just put sold Steamboat NWA belt 20. I only have 5. Hard 5 on this particular signed picture with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and the NWA belt right here. Big gold version. Wonderful signature by Ricky.
Nicholas Da
Silva. 4 remaining Ricky Steamboats with the NWA title for $20.
C. Joe MC.
C. Joe, get a Ricky the Dragon Steamboat NWA autograph.
Nate
Lawson. Only 2 remaining. Once we sell these 2, it's gone. Nicholas Dorito. James McComb. It is off the virtual gimmick table. Ricky Steamboat, shirtless, is off the virtual gimmick table. But what we have on the virtual gimmick table is Tully Blanchard with the NWA TV title for $15 by putting sold Tully TV belt 15 in the comment section. Go ahead and take a look at this picture right here. NWA belt. Tully's autograph right here. Just put sold Tully TV belt 15 in the comment section. Only selling 5 of them here tonight for the price of $15. So if you're interested,
Nicholas Da Silva.
Thank you very much.
Michael David, first one for him.
Michael David, thank you so much, Michael, for jumping in tonight here at the virtual gimmick table.
Eli Eifert's 3.
Eli Eifert.
C. Joe MC.
See Joe pick up another autograph picture.
Brandon Bates was number 5.
Brandon Bates.
We could accommodate.
We
a few
could
more.
accommodate. We could accommodate for the part for you guys coming in. We'll accommodate for the lag. We'll do our best because we can. Feel bad about the steamboat, but don't feel bad about this next person and this price too. As you guys know, Jim Crockett Promotions not the only NWA territory. Florida, a big integral part to the NWA. And what I have here is Kevin Sullivan with the NWA Florida belt, and I have a picture for $15. Just put sold Kevin Sullivan Florida belt 15 in the comment section. Let's go to a closer look of the autograph right here. Signed by Kevin Sullivan. Just put sold Kevin Sullivan Florida belt 15 in the comment section. This one, like I said, we're trying to honor all parts of the NWA. We discussed St. Louis. We discussed Memphis. We were very heavy on the Charlotte promotion as well, but we cannot neglect Florida and its importance to the history of the NWA. That's why we've got this Kevin Sullivan picture with the Florida title for $15. Just put
Chris McCullough.
Chris McCullough. There we go. Now the lag is catching up right now. I'm sure.
Tony Mielo.
Tony Mielo. We're catching up right now. We got a few more. Selling 5 here tonight for that price of $15. I have 3 remaining Kevin Sullivans with the Florida belt for $15. Just by chiming in.
Mike DeRoche.
Mike DeRoche. 2 remaining Kevin Sullivans with the Florida belt for $15. Time, even more. All right, we'll set it off to the side for right now. Let's go ahead and move on back to the Jim Crockett Promotions area. The Russians, always a big draw in the area. The big bad guys, and of course, we have not just Nikita with his U.S. belt, but we also have Uncle Ivan, who signed this picture as well. So you get Ivan and Nikita U.S. belt, $30. You're getting 2 autographs for $30, and you get Uncle Ivan right here as well. Let's get a closer shot of this one. So if you want this particular item, just put sold Ivan and Nikita U.S. belt 30 in the comment section. Now, as you can see, a lot of the NWA belts are represented here. This, of course, is the U.S. belt. If you want this picture that is signed by Ivan and, of course, Nikita right here, just put sold Ivan and Nikita U.S. belt 30.
Aubrey Wright.
There you go, Aubrey Wright. This can be the next person. I've only got a limited amount of these remaining. And I'm not getting a restock of them whatsoever. So please, if you want this right now, I would jump over this as quickly as possible. Hard to get autograph with Ivan and Nikita U.S. belt for $30. Okay. Moving right along. This one right here. This is another hard to get autograph. You're not gonna get these 2 to sign a picture anytime soon, and we have a limited amount remaining here at Highspots. So if you want this, I would jump all over it. If you were a fan of Jimmy Garvin and Precious, just put sold Jimmy Garvin and Precious 30 in the comment section, and you can walk away with this right here, right now. So just put sold Jimmy Garvin and Precious 30 in the comment section. Get this for a closer look of said autograph right here. Just put sold Jimmy Garvin and Precious $30. Like I said, we are running low on stock, and it's going to be very hard to get both of their autographs on this particular picture. We've actually run out of this particular 8x10. All the 8x10s that we have of Jimmy Garvin have been signed by him and Precious. So this is your last opportunity to get it for $30. Jimmy Garvin and Precious for $30.
Unbelievable. No one
Unbelievable. I thought, one person in this office thought it'd be pretty believable at that price, but we're running low on another individual with our last promo time, and we're running low. And we don't know if we're going to get any more of these, so we had to up the price on it. So I would recommend getting it now. We might have to up the price again if we get even lower on it, or we might have to do an auction item on this. And it is the Terry Funk's Last Stand. We're selling this for $25, guys. We are desperately getting low on stock, so if you guys are interested in the Terry Funk Last Stand, just put sold Terry Funk promo 25 in the comment section.
While we account for that lag, Scott Toth picked up a Precious and Garvin. So
we're not goose egged on the Precious and Jimmy Garvin, but will we be goose eggs on Terry Funk for 25 is the real question right
Homer
now.
Navarrete is in for Terry.
Homer Navarrete is jumping in on these Terry Funks. These last. You know, we're not redoing this promo.
David Brashear.
For Terry. If we do get a signing with Terry, we will not get him to sign this Terry Funk's Last Stand one. No, this will be a last of promo. Once we are out, and we are desperately getting low. So just put Terry Funk promo 25 in the comment section. If you want it, you better get it because we're almost. Chris Ashton. 2 more that we're selling here tonight. Anybody else going to jump on this Terry Funk? And as a reminder, guys, we also still have Jimmy Garvin and Precious for 30. We also have Ivan and Nikita for 30 as well. And then, of course, we have Kevin Sullivan with the Florida Belt for $15. All right, and review once again. Ivan and Nikita, 30.
Dustin Robbins picked up the 4th Funk, so I got 1 more of those.
We got 1 more Funk, but we still have 4 remaining of Precious Jimmy Garvin for 30. And they have Terry Funk, 1 remaining. Funk's Last Stand, 1 remaining at $25. But what we don't have 1 remaining of are George South promos, which will pop up that graphic right now. They are available right now. And of course, like I said, no extra charge for personalizations for all the pictures of George. And of course, no extra charge for his personalization on his book. But let's go get a closer shot of all the promos we got. Right here we have George Cage 15. Okay, as George told that wonderful story of him looking out for the people that aren't there. This is like me every time I go to a show, looking out for those people that aren't there. And then of course we have George Claw 15, and of course the person in the claw is Rock and Roll Express, who Nick Aldis talked very highly of a few minutes ago. So if you want this one, just put George Claw 15, and then of course this wonderful cardstock promo. This is probably the nicest promo that George has ever signed in his career, and if you want it, all you got to do is just put George Jacket 15 in the comment section. And of course, as a reminder, guys, he also has his book available for $25, and we'll personalize it to you for no extra charge. All you got to do is just put George Book 25 in the comment section, and he will personalize that for you if you so wish. Okay, we have gotten through the promos. It's now time for the posters, and I've only got 2 of them here tonight that I'm going to be selling. And of course, when you think of the NWA, in my mind, there are only 2 men, and that's why we're only going to do 2 in the poster time. And it is the man who made the NWA. This is the Harley Race, and we're selling Harley Race for $50. Just put sold Harley Schamberger $50. Okay, that's all you need to do for this. Funny story. I was in somebody's home, and they had a picture of Harley Race sitting on their counter. And I go, "Oh, that's cool. You got a Harley Race picture in your house." And they're like, "Yeah, it came in a Pro Wrestling Tees order. We had to look up who he was." And I immediately said, "Drive me to the airport, and I'm going home. I don't want to see you ever again because you don't know who Harley Race is. Go do that for me right now. That is why I'm leaving." So if you don't know who Harley Race is, you're not a friend of mine, unless you have no idea what professional wrestling is. If you call yourself a pro wrestling fan and you don't know who Harley Race is, I got my opinions about you, and they're not favorable. but I understand it. maybe if you're a Jackie Gleason fan, if you know that old story about Harley Race.
If you like segues, you have two friends, and Chris McCullough and David Tucker, who both picked up.
Of course, Chris McCullough. I have two friends, and Dave McCullough. Thank you so much for that. I have one remaining Harley Race for $50. I guarantee Michael's going to jack up the price on this. So, guys, be the last person.
Chris Giles.
Chris Giles, right there.
Someone asked if it's signed. I don't know how much more clear you could have been.
Yeah, it is signed. It is signed all day, every day. And
Steve Messa is for.
Steve Messa. And hey, Messa, just to let you know, your order will be shipped out tomorrow. Tommy he's got a frame he's going to put your picture in. So relax, don't worry, we're taking care of you, and thank you for taking care of us. And as you guys see, what a great signature. 8 times world champion Harley Race.
Scott Toth is number 5.
Scott Toth, number 5. Let's go ahead. We'll put off the side. And congratulations to you guys. I guarantee Michael's going to jack that up on a Saturday gimmick table, because he's already jacked up the Flair Schamburgers, which are now $60. So if you're
steal.
What a steal! What a steal, he says. If you're interested in the Flair Schamburger, just put sold Flair Schamburger, $60. That's how low the stock's getting. When we get low on a stock, you'll start to notice the price go up. It's like the stock market. You got to jump in when you can, guys. All you guys have missed out on the 50. Don't miss out on the 60, because this is going to get to 70, 80, $100. Or put it on auction, it'll be $300, guys. So jump on it now for 60. You missed out on the 50. Don't miss out on the $60 price, because that's what happens when we get a little bit lower in stock. The price starts creeping up. Jump in while you can. Get this Flair Schamburger for $60. 60, signed by the Nature Boy himself. And we were just talking about this earlier off camera. You know, signatures matter, and adding a little extra to it, and the fact that Rick put the 16 time makes that autograph so special. You know, it takes a little, it costs a little extra money for Rick to put that 16 time on right there, but you guys get that right here, right now, right on this wonderful art piece, this Rob Schamberger art piece, for $60.
All right, you ready? We have 3 people already. Nicholas Dorito.
Nicholas Dorito, thank you so much.
J. Odie.
J. Odie.
C. Joe MC.
C. Joe, get a Ric Flair Schamberger put in his box.
Caleb Carter.
Caleb Carter.
And we had a couple other Harleys. You can tell everybody Harley's good. We can accommodate.
Harley's good. We can accommodate, and you guys are smart by getting those Harleys for $50. They will not be $50 for very long at all. I scared you to death on that, didn't I?
Eddie LaFrancais bought a Flair for $60.
Eddie LaFrancais, I appreciate
Mike
you.
Kovacs.
Mike Kovacs, all the way up in Canada. Thank you very much for watching tonight here to Mike. Hopefully it's not too cold, even though it is July now. Anyways, let's go and put the Flair off to the side right now. The whole gimmick table is a disarray right now, but we're gonna jump to an auction real fast. We're gonna do one auction because George brought a lot of auction items, and I want to give us more than enough time. Where are we sitting on time right now, Mike?
We're good.
Well, okay.
Oh, well, it's 8:07.
Okay. Well, we're doing great. We're gonna have more than enough time for all of George's auction items. No problems. And George is very excited about that. But before I bring him out here, I have one particular item that I want to auction off. And as always, guys, once again, the rules of the auction are the bids are going to start at $5. I'm going to introduce the items. Those bids will climb up. When it starts to be a bidding war, let us know if you're in or you're out so we can move through all of these auction items. We actually have a full auction with George, so we want to get through all these items so we can sell these items. And the last item we definitely want to get to before Facebook Live kicks us off in about a couple hours. And trust me, anything with George is going to be double the time. So that's the truth. So it's very important when you get to a point that you can't pay, let us know that you're out so we can move through these very importantly. And that's why I'm just reminding you again on these rules so we can get through all of these auctions, because these are some awesome items, especially this first item, which is a Jim Crockett Promotion Crockett Cup from 1986. This program, we believe, came in a lot full of stuff, like a box. Sometimes what we do is we get these collectors and they have these boxes, and we'll find these things and these gems like, hey, My grandkids aren't interested in wrestling. My kids aren't interested in wrestling. Highspots, do you want to buy this box? And we're like, sure. And we'll get a price and we'll find stuff, and then we'll start digging through and we'll find gems like this Jim Crockett Promotions Crockett Cup program from 1986. And also, too, inside this program, we have, obviously it is the program from the event. Also, too, there are signatures in here. We do not have authentications for these signatures, but from what we've seen from a lot of these signatures, from signings, they appear to be all authentic. We do not have an authentication for them, so we can't say for sure, but they all look very similar. Like the Precious looks very similar to, obviously, if you see right there, Precious right there. They're very similar in the P, so they appear all to be original and real signatures. And of course, Uncle Ivan right there. And of course, Rock and Roll Express. J.J. Dillon. So we're not sure when the autographs were collected. Ronnie Garvin. Of course, Midnight Express, even with Jim Cornette, which obviously we did not collect these autographs, or else we would not have Jim Cornette's autograph. That's just simple as that. We could definitely get Bobby's. Dennis might be a little bit difficult, but definitely Jim would probably flip us off and walk away like, hey, can you sign this program? So these were not collected by us, but they were collected by somebody, and they all seem to be authentic. Now, this is a Baby Doll signature, not Dusty right there. Just let you, it appears to be Baby Doll. Of course, this is a Jim Crockett promotion. Of course, Magnum signed on the back, and this looks very similar to the Magnum autograph that we have. So we can't authenticate the autographs themselves, but this as a program itself is also a collector's piece as well. This is very nice Jim Crockett Promotions 1986 Crockett Cup program. Of course, New Orleans Superdome, April 86. This was only $5, but I think it's going to go for a lot more than $5. Where are we at right now, Michael?
Before I tell you that, just since we're having our little game, we sold another Jimmy Garvin Precious condos.
Okay, we sold the other Jimmy Garvin Precious.
All right.
Okay, all right.
But to recap this one, let's see, back it up. We have Michael Chavez start us off with $5. So actually, before we even saw the item, gave us the $5 bid. Joshua Cummings went to $25.
Okay, Joshua Cummings got 25.
Steve Mesa went up to $50.
Mesa, you're in the mix of this at 50? Oh, watch out, Mesa.
Joshua Cummings went to $75.
Joshua Cummings, 75.
Dennis Michael at $80.
Dennis Michael got us to 80.
Josh went back to $100.
Josh has got us to 100 now.
A couple other bids came in. Josh went up to $150. Steve went up to $160. Dennis Michael at $170. Josh at $180, which is where we're at right now.
Josh is at 180. Dennis Michael, let us know if you're in or you're out. Mesa, let us know if you're in or you're out. The quicker you do this, the more items we get. We have a lot of items to get through. I think we have 5 items to get through with George. So if you guys are going back and forth right now, and it's got to a threshold that you can't handle, which is at 180 right now, let us know if you're in or you're out, or if somebody's been watching this like a hawk, jump in right now and do better than 180. Go to 200. Why not? This is the time right here to pick up this Jim Crockett promotion, Crockett Cup Memorial Program. Like I said, it's got the autographs that appear to be authentic just by mere looking at them and comparing them to other autographs we have. Like some of the autographs I've already brought out, and like I showed you how similar Precious is, how similar Jimmy Garvin is, the Uncle Ivan one, all very similar. Let's go through all the autographs again. And of course, there's wonderful articles inside. I think that's Sam Houston right there. Of course, Aaron Van Raschke, Paul Jones, Andy Fernandez, Jimmy Valiant. Oh, it's right there, Jimmy Garvin. I think Black Bart. Ivan. Rock and Roll Express signed it as well. Of course, you got Tiger Mask in here. Of course, this would be Misawa because it is the All Japan version of Tiger Mask and Baba, not the New Japan version. J.J. Dillon. We also have Dino Bravo, Rick Martel featured in there, not signed by them, of course. Of course, we have Ronnie Garvin, Magnum TA, and like I said, Midnight Express with Jim Cornette's autograph right there. Very tough to get from the Highspots.com offices for obvious reasons. And of course, we got the nice little thing in the back, the Four Horsemen jackets. I actually knew the daughter of the person who made those jackets. So he was a bit of a workaholic, just to let you know, if you're curious, and he put a lot of time in those jackets. If you want a different story about that, I'll tell you at a different time.
Well, we'll tell you a third person bought the car from Precious Picture, but
Okay.
we're currently, the two other high bidders are out, and we are currently, for this one, at is that right, high bid? 180? 180. So
180.
Give it a 60-second clock.
Okay, we're at 60-second clock for 180. Right now for who?
Josh Cummings?
Josh Cummings. Well, normally I pick it up at 30 seconds. You tell me to pick it up. See, I get all these directions. This is. What would you like me to do, Michael? Just go ahead and say it. Just go ahead. I can't read what I keep getting pointed at, and then just going. It's like I'm acting with Robert De Niro right now. I don't know what you're saying. I know what my lines are supposed to be, but you're improving now. So I'm here. We're now at the 30-second clock. Normally I pick it up from the 60-second. So, but apparently we're now at the 30-second if I'm not mistaken. So we're at 180. Everybody said that they're out. Everyone wants to see the other items, and trust me, you're definitely going to see the other items, especially the last item that we have. So do please stick around for that, ladies and gentlemen. The last item of the night, I think, will be the one that's going to really blow the roof off this place.
All right, 10 seconds to Josh Cummings.
10 seconds to Josh Cummings in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations, Josh. You are the proud owner of this Crockett Cup program. I'm going to put it in this nice protective sleeve and mail it out to you and protect the integrity of this. And speaking of integrity, guys, if you want signed pictures of George, put that graphic up right now. Let's show that graphic right now. And if you want the opportunity to get these George South signed pictures, like I said, no extra charge for personalizations. Nope. It is George Cage 15, George Claw 15, George Jacket 15, George Book 25. No extra charge. Personalizations. And speaking of personalizations, let's make this super personal, George.
Yes, Mr. Number One.
Mr. Number
Thank
One.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That didn't take long.
That did good. I was ready.
Not too much
right
anxiety. I mean, anytime I said anything with a G word, I saw you just pop back in. Like,
Oh, man.
Is it my turn? Am I coming back on?
Listen, I've been waiting on this. Ain't nothing for fun. That's what Dusty Rhodes told me. Okay, so this ain't for fun. So
this is not.
And this right here, if they purchase this, Ricky Morton will also sign it. Now he may charge him, but. Still.
Well, he ain't here.
No, I know. No,
they
can chase him down.
You can't. We won't
that's
chase
all
him
on your
down.
own.
Yeah. Once you have purchased this for $15, we mail this to you. Then you chase down Ricky Morton.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he'll probably charge you too.
Yeah, he'll charge you, but you'll have. Here's the point. You'll have something for Ricky Morton to sign. If you ever see Ricky Morton. Which apparently he's always like at a gas station.
Yes.
Somewhere.
No,
especially at a gas
true.
station with Steve Ferry.
Yes, that's a very true story. After 12 hours of listening to Journey, he did. He ran into Steve Ferry.
Exactly.
He sure did. So.
Well, I'm glad I ran into you.
Oh, thank you.
We have, and I'm glad that you ran into your museum.
Yes, I sure did. Thank you.
And when we started doing this, and like guys to bring stuff in, we always when George brings something in, it's going to be special.
Yeah.
And we're going to start with probably.
Oh yes.
One of the
specialists. And can I hold this? Or
I'll need you.
Yes,
because I'm going to be busy holding this.
Yes,
now,
yes.
This is just a simple referee shirt with the sleeves cut out.
Yes.
But it's not just any referee shirt. This is a referee shirt that you loaned.
Yes, I sure did.
To
the Hulkster, Hulk Hogan. I sure did.
Hogan. Now, of course, as everybody remembers, Reed Flair was training here and getting ready for his first match, which ended up being a tag match with the Nasty Boys.
Yes.
Him and his brother David took on the Nasty Boys, and Rick was going to be his corner, and then we had Jimmy Hart in their corner. But to kind of spice things up for that match that happened in Charlotte, North Carolina, I believe in 2008, they decided to get Hulk Hogan as the special guest referee, and we need a referee shirt.
Yes, we did.
And tell that story.
And boy, you know what was so amazing is at that time, Hulk Hogan's television show, Hogan's No Best or whatever was
Yeah.
very, very high rated. And
Yeah,
he
his marriage was already in the trash.
Oh, yeah.
So that means the ratings for that thing were so
ratings were
high.
going great.
The ratings were going great.
And if you can remember, Hogan actually came as a free gift to Rick, and
Yeah.
he brought his production crew from the TV show to tape Hogan's No Best at this event. And so, of course, everybody carries a ref shirt, but Hulk Hogan. So I had just bought, first referee shirt I'd ever bought in my life. I had just spent $40.
Yeah.
Not for Hogan, but just so we would have one at our shows when I decided to use a ref.
Yeah.
So they came over to the dressing room. They said, "Do you have a referee shirt that Hulk Hogan could use?" I said, "I sure do." Thinking, of course, I'll get it back. We'll wash it, reuse it. But it came back, of course, with the neck cut out and the sleeves cut out. Okay. And Bullet, if you would allow me, we have a picture, the 8x10 picture.
Yeah. Well, here, you hang on to this. We got a picture of actually.
This is actually in the dressing room of the Hulk posing that night there at the high school with this shirt. And so the shirt got sent back to me just like this, and I said, "Oh no."
Yeah, you're not accepting this.
No.
You can't give it to me back like this.
No.
I need something.
I need something.
And what'd you get?
And I sent it right back, said, no. He has to autograph this. So, ladies and gentlemen, what he did do is Hulk Hogan autographed
right here.
The referee shirt.
And
so excited. Yeah, and the zipper, which was very, very different, very rare. And it is, there we go. Yes, Hogan did sign it for me. And, of course, it was given back to me, and it has been hanging in the George South Museum for many, many years. And that may be dust and stuff on the zipper, but...
right there.
And you know what?
It's very faded, but you can see the H's
on
it. And it's obviously he wore it in the ring that night. So it is very faded and it's very tough to see.
And, again, he refereed the main event, as you said, with the Nasty Boys and, of course... Rick's sons. And what was so special, Bull, about when all of that was done, and you may remember this too, is what really impressed me about Hogan that night is when the show's over, everybody's left, Flair's left, everybody's gone. Hogan stayed for free and signed probably an hour and a half of autographs that night. Just the boys, coming in, and I was in line. My kids got a picture with him. I just thought that was pretty cool.
Let me tell you another cool thing about him. Now, obviously, that show, we put together, Highspots.com. That was something, like, owner of Highspots, Michael Bakikio, was at the front door with his father taking ticket money. I was running the merch table just behind them. We had Caleb Connolly running autograph lines for Midnight. Our office was much smaller then. And we had a lot of people spread very thin on everything in that building that night. And I knew I was going to be later in the show. I was like second to last. So I had a little bit of time, and I was going to wrestle Ricky Steamboat Jr.
Yes.
And I knew a little bit of time. I had a little familiarity, so we didn't have to talk for too long. So I was still selling merch during the first match.
Yes.
So finally I get to a point, I look at Michael and I'm like, can I finally go? So I can get ready for the match. I have 4 more matches to go, so I need to get changed. So I go to the back in just panic and fury, and I'm getting changed, and all of a sudden, like, I see Hulk Hogan. The guy I saw as a child, he saw me, and he started walking towards me. And I go, what did I do wrong? What did I do? Because I'm already flustered. I don't know what I'm going to do. He walked over to me, and he goes, what's going on, brother? My name's Terry. And he walked over to me because he saw another wrestler in the locker room and he wanted to introduce himself to me. And I thought that was the coolest thing. He could have blown me off.
Right.
He could have done like, oh, there's just another Jay Brown. Yeah. He's like, no, there's another wrestler. Hey, man, my name's Terry. What's going on? That guy came over to me as if I was an equal.
I love that.
So, and that was that same night and he was wearing that shirt.
Yes, and Bullet, what was so funny is, as you said, we were training Reed, and Reed was very, very nervous about this. Was one of the first times Dad was going to be at ringside. So dumb me actually approached Rick a few days before, and very old school, I asked Rick, I said, why don't we just put a mask on Reed? This is one of his first matches, and just let him go out there, maybe with you or even me, second or third match like you and little Ricky did, and have fun.
Yeah.
And tear the house down. And I'll never forget, Rick looked at me and he said, there is no son of mine going to wear a mask. So he did not, And history, I don't know if it was made or not, but because you remember when we first started back in the day, Bullet, me and you, that you
well,
would.
back when I used to be in the car with you and Stallion.
Yes,
Yeah, remember those days?
exactly.
Yeah.
And see, as my son, we would put a mask on you and just make up a name and let
Wasn't
you
ready
go
I
out.
wasn't ready to get the South name.
That's
Still
exactly
not,
right.
Still not ready.
No, you're almost there.
Okay.
Okay, this helped a whole lot
All right.
tonight. This helped a whole lot. But as you know, the second generation kid would have a year or two under his belt, under a mask, to mess up, to have fun, to laugh, and not have all that pressure on them. But no, one of Reed's very first matches with Dad, cameras everywhere.
Hulk Hogan,
Hulk
Jimmy
Hogan.
Hart,
I mean, that's
Nasty
it.
Boys.
Oh,
All
bless
of it.
their heart. I could not have done it. And I think that's why you and little Ricky went out and actually had just an unbelievable match, because it was fun. I mean, there was really no pressure because all the attention was on what was coming later. And so just a very special night. So the shirt was given back to me. I'm sitting there holding it. The armor's cut out. The collar's cut out. Wait a second. No. And so we sent it back. Hogan signed it, and it has been hanging in the museum for many, many years. So
Well, let's see whose
One of a
museum
kind.
it's going to be sitting in right now. Where we're at in the bids.
Gerard Budenberg is at 200.
Gerard Budenberg at $200 right
Michael
now.
Blanton just in at 210.
Michael Blanton at 210 right now. Gerard, let us know if you're in or you're out. Gerard, all the way from the Netherlands. We have people all the way from the Netherlands watching this show.
And we will send the 8x10. Is that correct? Of
Oh,
Hogan?
yeah,
we will send that.
We'll throw this in right
I
there.
didn't know if that would
wearing
be
the
part of
shirt
it, but if
right
they would like to
there.
have that.
Yeah, and it's probably about the DVD, because you clearly see, once you see him
Oh, yeah.
in here and you see a picture of the shirt, it's clearly...
And you get the DVD. People
And you'll
Yeah.
get the DVD as
Yeah.
well.
And what I love about
you'll
that,
get to see me take on Little Ricky. Probably one of the best matches of my career. It's always a match
Very
that
good.
I would pass around to people. Like, hey, this is how good of a wrestler I am. And like, man, that Ricky Steamboat's really good.
And
you were in the match too? Like, that's
And remember, I think Rock and Roll, it was stacked.
Rock and Roll Midnight. Probably the last time that Stan Lane and Bobby Eaton.
Last match.
Yeah,
Stan
the last
Lane's
match.
last match. Also to Caleb Connolly, Joey Sylvia tore the house
Yes,
down in the opening match.
yeah,
as well, too.
unbelievable. That
Great
whole card was.
You wrestled
And what I
Charlie
love about
Dreamer.
the Hogan picture is the setting. It's not. It's in a old high school. It's in a high school gym, you know. And so I don't know how many pictures. That's very special to me to have Hogan in a old high school gym.
Yeah,
so,
like he's
pretty
not
cool.
not too big for all of it, for sure.
But even before they get to the main event, Bullet, as you said, it's loaded. I mean, all the matches are very, very good.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, and and funny story. I'll never forget. I was sitting outside at the end of the night, just unloading the ring. The last piece of the ring's coming off. Ric Flair's walking out the door, and Ric Flair walks out of a high school gym with an open beer. Where he found a beer in a high school gym, on me. And I'll never forget. He walked past a police officer with a beer in his hand, got in his car, and then and like drove off with an open beer and said goodnight to the officer with the beer can in his hand, with just like, "Good night, officer," with the beer in his can, and the officer just was like, "Oh, Flair." Like, I was like, and you wonder why he got in so much trouble.
Exactly.
And you wonder why he got in so much when the authorities wouldn't go after
Hold
him.
the beer while I get my keys.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Oh, thank you. And
Well,
then get it.
I'd like to see Butch Reed try that trick, you know?
And Bullet, if I may add real quick, Bullet, there's actually that, I just thought of this, the picture of me and my children that was waited in line at the night of that show to get a picture with Hogan, and I had them all there, is actually in my book. So that picture from that night of me and the kids posing with Hogan, a lot of Hogan here tonight with this discussion.
This book's only $25, just for putting George's book $25 in the comment section. But where are we at right now in the
Dave
bids?
Miller is the high bidder at $275.
Dave Miller is the highest bidder at $275. Dave Miller, not my high school principal. We've clarified that right off the bat. And not my old high school football. Well, he wasn't my high school football coach. He was my principal. He retired. He knew I was going to be a football player, and he retired as a head football coach. That's pretty much. He knew he'd have his hands full with me. So yes, it was a very special night.
Yes.
Training, with Reed and getting to a point, and then training with little Ricky. I believe, even at that time, Dylan Eaton was
Right,
training.
yeah,
You've had a
sure,
lot of
that's
people
exactly
come
right.
in, and you trained a lot of people,
Yeah.
and even Tessa Blanchard has
Right.
come through and talk about how proud you are about
Well,
her.
Bullet, everybody's always asked me, they said, I even had people say, well, can you give me a reference, a resume, why should we come to your school? And I always said, listen, when, like you said, when Ric Flair or Ricky Steamboat, when they bring their son to you, it's the ultimate trust, but it's a lot of pressure. And I have just had a lot of honor in that. You can't put a money figure on that. Just for those guys to trust you with their sons, and it's a pretty special thing for me to have Barry Darso, his son, train Crush, one of the Russians actually, and Demolition actually came and trained with us here. Of course, like you said, Tessa's doing very, very well, and I take pride in that. I trained with Ted DiBiase's son for a short time, and so those are very, very special to me. That those guys that I have looked up to, trusted me with their son. And it's very intimidating. As you know, when we were training here, Flair would come many times and watch. When we're like training with just us and Reed or even David. We trained David for some time, and to have Rick right there. So you either get it right or you get it wrong. And
as someone was training sessions, I remember one time Ric Flair was trying to show Reed how to go for a body slam. Rick just walked right over to me and goes, body slam.
Yes.
And he wasn't like, hey, body slamming whenever you're ready. He was like, body slam.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then I didn't want to slam him, and I knew I wasn't supposed to slam him. And I just I dusted them all. I didn't slam them. I just I picked them up.
And see, Bullet, the same thing. Remember when Ricky Steamboat would come while we were training Little Ricky, and of course Charlie Dreamer was with us, and that's when we had a couch in there, and Steamboat had a nice dress shirt. It was tucked in, blue jeans. He was watching, and all of a sudden, just like you said, he just jumped in the ring. And next thing I know, he locked up with Charlie Dreamer and just
tackle, drop down, arm drag
in like a split second, and our mouth drops open, and it was perfect.
Yeah, and Charlie Dreamer told me later on that night, an hour later, he was getting ready to get in the tanning bed, and he stopped everything. He goes, "Oh my God, I'm one of the few guys of my generation that has taken an arm drag."
Yes.
He's still.
And all I can think about that and Steamboat just got. It was like it was in a movie of the week. They did the arm drag. He got up, he went back and sat back on the couch, and then all I could think about was his shirt didn't even come untucked. Now that's how special. When your shirt doesn't come untucked on an arm drag, it was just amazing.
It's not the same as Mr. Hughes' glasses falling off.
No.
Well, where are we at right now in the bids?
Okay, the high bid is Brian Hawk's at $350, but there are several people who apparently came in since you started talking. If you could kind of summarize what they're bidding on.
Yes.
Okay, people are trying to figure out what's going on here. All right, what we have.
Did you tell them to quit talking about old times?
We're at $350 right now.
Yes.
Brian Hawks. This is the referee shirt. Go ahead and show the picture.
Yes, I sure will.
Right
here.
This
I
is
sure will.
The referee shirt that Hulk Hogan wore when he refereed Reed Flair's debut match, where Reed and David took on the Nasty Boys here in Charlotte, North Carolina, December 6, 2008. Of course, as we mentioned earlier, because a lot of people have jumped in like, what? Hulk Hogan signs referee shirt. Yeah. Basically, he was a referee that night. You had an extra referee shirt, tossed it to Hulk. He cut the sleeves off, handed it back to you. You're like, no. I need something for this. You got an autograph inside the shirt, which we've been showing right here. It was a little tough because I couldn't get the zipper to move, and I don't want to damage the integrity of the shirt. But there you can see the H's right there.
And Bullet, what was so funny is when they handed it back to me, everybody just kind of walked away like, okay, thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
We appreciate your $40 shirt.
This ruined shirt.
Yeah. So they didn't even give me the sleeves back.
Yeah, but you being smart, you're like, hey, can you at least sign it?
Yes.
And of course, you got the double H's in there, and of course, it'll come with the DVD. We'll throw in the picture.
And it's so special, Bullet, because there's no Hogan's Knows Best no more. All that, it's gone.
Well, he did this show just as a distraction.
Yes.
He was just like, I need to get out of the house. See me, I need to get back in the house. When I leave the house, that's where my problems happen. So.
And we will include the picture.
Yeah,
of course,
we'll put the picture with it. We'll put it all together. And see, once you see this and you see the shirt, you're like, oh, that's definitely the shirt, just the way it's cut and everything. And I remember we had a young referee training with us at the time, and I'll never get back to Hogan being cool. We had one referee training with us, and of course, a young referee trainee, and we had 6 matches. Guess what? You do 5 of them. Hulk's gonna do this one, and there's a little bit of time before we sent Hulk back out there to be the referee for the main event, and just perfect photo op. the referee was coming in the back. There were all these photographers waiting for Hulk Hogan to walk out, and Hulk grabbed this young kid who was a trainee referee and just pulled him in. And he goes, "I learned everything I needed to know about being a referee from this kid." He's like sweating because he just reffed like 5 matches, and then he walked to the back, and Hulk Hogan is now saying that he was his mentor, and he's like, and he's just sitting there smiling. These photographers are taking these pictures, and he's like, "Okay."
So that's the ref that's been appearing at all these conventions as the guy that trained
Hulk
Hogan as a ref.
We had some more big bids. Dean Archer went to 400.
Dean Archer got us to 400.
Brian
Thank you.
Hawks came in at 450, and no one's touched 450 yet.
Nobody's touched
Appreciate
450 yet.
So
Are we
great.
close to a 6-second clock? Are we
Yeah,
gonna
we're
wait
good.
up?
450.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
450 is where we're sitting. George, isn't this weird? We've got 200 some odd people watching this right now.
Yeah.
Which is roughly what we have. Dad, you don't work, you wrestle watch. We don't make.
Can we do this
450.
every week? No, we don't. Can we
don't
do
make
this every
450.
week?
We don't make
Okay.
450. And we still have.
Do I go with it?
No, you
no,
don't.
no.
You don't.
Okay.
You,
I
put this-
will. Okay.
You leave this here.
Okay.
You leave this
I was
here. We
going to
take care
say
of this.
that the hanger. We'll put the hanger with it.
Okay, we'll throw the hanger in.
Okay. Yeah,
we'll throw the hanger in. That's not a thing. There'll be no hanger honors in the package.
Thank you so
We're
much.
about ready to take this. Probably
Yeah,
the 30
yeah,
second now.
Yep, 30.
30 seconds right now. We'll put it on the hard
the
camera right
picture.
now. We'll throw in the
Hold
DVD.
on, hold
Yeah.
on, hold on.
Nope.
We had somebody lurking. Is he in there? Oh, Dave Miller's back at 475.
Dave Miller back at 475. We are way past the $5 increments. We are way past that. So you guys are smart on that. So we're at 475 right now. Dave Miller, Brian Hawks, let us know if you're in or are you out at 475.
Thank you.
For this Hulk Hogan referee shirt. See, this is why I knew
Yeah.
when they said, "Oh, hey, it's 8 o'clock. We have more than enough time." Like,
Right.
Dean was probably at this show, and he just bid $500.
Yeah.
Dean bid
Matter
$500.
of fact, he was. He came by earlier today and
Okay.
actually
Saw
told
it.
me that yes,
He saw it.
that he was there that night. So
Okay, so Dean is right now in for $500. Brian Hawks, let us know if you're in or you're out. Who is the guy that did the
Well,
470?
Dave Miller was at
Dave
475.
Miller, let us know if you're in or you're out. Dave Miller, let us know if you're in or you're out. Brian Hawks, let us know if you're in or you're out. Dean is sitting at $500 right now for this referee shirt.
and it will DVD and the picture.
DVD
We'll
and the
see to
picture
it.
will all
Yeah.
be included.
So cool. Hogan in the high school dressing room. Just a very, very special night for all of us. But a lot of legends. A big show. All the matches were very, very good.
Yeah.
Dave
Big
Miller,
fundraiser.
525.
Dave Miller, 525 for the signed.
Such a special
Hulk.
night.
Very, very special night. Did you have any interactions with Hulk before this?
Well, yeah, and thank you for that bullet. Remember, my first time of meeting him was kind of like yours. I had some of him on television, and of course, I knew my plan was. He had always on TV said, "Say your prayers and take your vitamins." And I thought, man, if I ever get a meeting, I'm just going to ask. I mean, do you really pray? And that sounds crazy, but my first WWF television, this was the height of Hulkamania. Brother even had his own bubble bath. I mean, he had it all, everything.
Yeah.
Hulk, and so
That's the sign of success.
Oh,
Everyone's
when you
bubble
get the
bath.
bubble bath, forget
Yeah.
the ice cream. When you got the bubble bath,
Yeah.
and I remember getting with 2 days TV, and I remember I had at that time my little comic book. I still have them, the comic book tracks, and I just wanted to give him one. So I followed him around for a full day. I was scared to death. I mean, what do you even call him?
You could have just went to the same gas station.
Well-
According to Teddy Long, that's how
Yeah,
he always
Teddy Long
over
says
there.
I know where George gets gas at. But you know what's so funny is that it sounds silly now. I didn't know what to call him. I mean, do you call him Hulk? Do you say Mr. Hulkster? I didn't know. So my first WWF television, which in itself is a story because I went from a ring in a pickup truck for WCW, that's a true story, to WWF and transfer trucks. And the ring crew has matching suits,
Jumpsuit, yeah.
and you're not in Kansas no more. So I followed Hogan around for a full day. I just couldn't get the nerve up. Second day, I said, I got to do this. So I followed him around for about an hour. He goes in to get coffee. And then boom, boom, here I circle like an old shark in the ocean. And I followed him, and I waited for him to get his coffee, and he turned around, and it's like the Hulkster, And I didn't know whether to slam him or feed him for a slam like Andre. But I shared, it was so cool, Bullet. I shared my comic book with him. And I asked him, seriously, I said, Hogan, you get on TV? I'd just like to know. It wasn't a right or wrong answer. I just would like to know. And he said, I sure do. He said, I pray all the time. He even said that when I'm on my knees, I'm the same size as all my little Hulkamaniacs. And then, boom. So that was a cool moment to meet him then. Years later, when he came, the whole Hogan turn in WCW, we went down, me and a couple of the guys killed time during the day. We went to Ted Turner, tower, whatever you call it. And so anyway, I bumped into Hogan, and I went, kind of like you, I went to shake his hand, and tell him who I was, and it was cool. It was very cool. He shook my hand, and he said, "No, I know who you are." Oh, Bullet. Now, he may have been lying, but I believe that he did, okay? So that's my story. So just very, very, very cool. But out of all of that, taking that extra hour and a half when Flair, the whole crew had left, to just make sure everybody got a picture. Those things that no cameras were on, he didn't do it. The cameras were not on for his show. But just to see those things was pretty special, I thought.
Brian Hawks went in at 550 and Dave Miller responded at 575. I think we should go 60 seconds, 575. Let people get those bids in.
575, 60-second clock. Let us know if you're in or you're out, guys. We're at 575.
Brian Hawks is at 600.
Brian Hawks is at $600 right now. Dave Miller, let us know if you're in or you're out right now, David. So, yeah, and
Yeah,
I think
just a cool special. I wish, and they know it's in here, but I wish I could find that picture. I wish I'd have marked it, but I'd love to show them that picture, and I'll never be able to find it now. But of just the
because
kids
you're under the gun right
Oh,
here.
yeah, I'm nervous.
You're under pressure right
Well,
now.
it reminds me. Listen, real quick story. I went and did John Boy and Billy, who's big name here in the Charlotte radio area for
They
years.
got a barbecue
and years.
sauce.
Yeah, barbecue sauce and tea. They got their own sweet tea. But anyway, so I did their live show here in Charlotte. That's like syndicated and goes all over the world. Well, I wrote a small piece in here before, knowing that one day I may do John Boy and Billy. So I was trying to work. Boy, what a great thing. I have to plug them on their show. It's a true story, and it made me think about it. So I'm doing John Boy and Billy's live. They're sitting there interviewing me, and we're just talking about the great old days. And so they don't know, but I'm trying to find where I wrote about them because I don't remember where it's at. And so I had already told them that they're in here. Mm-hmm. Bullet, it was just, thank you, Lord. It was just, I just guessed. True story. I'm getting ready to say goodbye, and I said, "John Boy, if you don't mind, I'd like to read what I wrote about you." And he said, "Please do." I was going to make it up. I swear, I am not going to lie. I was just going to make it up because he'd never look. And I just opened it, and boom, it was right there. And what was funny is I used a country saying of an old meal that country people use, cornbread and pinto beans. And John Boy is so quick. I read it, and actually what I wrote said, you feel like you've known him forever. You feel like you want to go eat a big plate of cornbread and pinto beans. And then John Boy just very bulletish. He said, "And make sure you leave before you pass gas." So anyway, I know. But it was quick.
That was quick.
That was quick when it come back.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I know it was very bullet. I mean, Nick Hollis told me I got bad segues. So.
No, boy.
Brian Hawks went in at 6, and then Dave Miller responded at 625. So
Dave Miller's at 625. Brian Hawks, let us know if you're in or you're out. 625. Dave Miller, not my high school principal, right now leading the bids. Is what we're saying. Like, we knew this was going to be the difficult one. We put this right here.
Brian Hawks is out, so let's put this on a 60-second.
We're on a 60-second clock right now. We're at 6:25 as you are furiously looking through your book.
Yes, I wish I could find it.
There's a bunch of pictures
so
of you and
many.
little George making you really sad right now.
Oh, I'm gonna start crying.
Don't worry. Your other
I was a bad dad.
You're
Thank
not.
you.
You're not a bad dad.
Thank you.
You've been
Thank
a good
you.
dad to me. You've taken
Thank
care
you.
of one of your sons.
Bullet, look, I just found this picture. This is true story. No, and with all the Tiger King or whatever the show is or whatever that show's called, not Lion King, but about the tigers. This is true story. This little George, he's 30-something now. This is when he was like 11 years old. We went to Hamlet, North Carolina. See, there's a real tiger there, and we'd heard.
Here, let me show the camera because you showing me doesn't show.
I'm trying to tell you the story. Well, but listen, this is a true story about that. And so we'd heard through folklore that down around Hamilton that this husband and wife have like
Tiger
real.
World.
Yeah.
Tiger World.
No, this wasn't Tiger World. Tiger World is north. This is just tigers in somebody's backyard. And we had never proved it. So we went and actually set the ring up, and me and little George, as you see proof, we went down an old dirt road. This was not Tiger World. Well, this didn't even have a name. This is so outlaw. And here it is. We heard a growl. This is a true story. Almost like when Dorothy and them get to the Wizard of Oz and you hear that growl. Well, this family had 5 of these lions that's in this book.
Or
They had
tigers.
5 tigers or bears.
Oh my.
Yeah. But true story. They were just like roaming in like the backyard. Bullet and
roaming around, not that they were Roman as
Right.
in the Roman Empire.
Right, exactly. So that so many stories in there, Bullet. But that I just saw that and made me miss Little George, if you're watching, I love you, and I'm sorry for everything I've done. But anyway, that's a whole nother thing.
I don't know if Brian's just waiting for the plug to put a bid in, but he's asked if we could show the DVD cover.
DVD cover, right here.
Of course, Hogan refereed the Flairs and the Nasty Boys.
December 6th,
Yep.
2008.
Ric Flair in the corner, Jimmy Hart in the other corner.
There it is. All right, are
Very,
we
very
on a 30
special.
second or are we in a 10 second? Where are we at, Michael?
I think Brian's trying to decide if this is part of his lineage that, that he may be bidding on it. So we're going to give Brian a second to figure that
Brian
out.
Kanabrowski.
So 30 seconds, and we'll just...
30 seconds. It's already in hand. It comes with the picture.
Yep.
This is DVD.
Very,
There
very
he is.
special
He
night.
just wanted to see it. Brian Kanabrowski, $6.50. He just wanted to make sure it was tied to his PWX promotion.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Brian
at
Yeah.
$6.50.
Brian
Yeah.
650. 60 seconds. We're waiting for Dave Miller now,
Yeah.
or waiting for Brian Hawks? Do we have AML and PWX fighting over something
Yeah,
in the auctions
yeah,
again?
yeah. Let
So
them keep fighting. Okay.
yeah, and it's not even over an item I have. It's an item you have.
Did you bring an extra mason jar for this one?
Oh yeah, I'll be. Yeah, you'll be doing. It'll just be.
You were hugging me a little too
Oh,
tightly.
bullet. We're going out on a date.
I-
Okay.
If you get to 800, I don't know.
I'm proposing. You got to help me back up on it. Okay.
Okay.
If I go to a knee, Bullet, you got to pose me back up.
So-
Okay. So.
Dave
Oh,
Miller.
so great, Bullet.
We're
So
waiting
good.
for Dave Miller.
We're waiting for Dave Miller to let us know if you're in or you're out.
Such a special night. All the matches were good.
Yeah.
Rock and roll, all of the matches. And a funny story. Can I tell a little story about rock and roll?
Go ahead.
At that time,
Go ahead.
which I thought was very, very funny because the place, heck of a house. They're making a killing on pictures, and at that time, their action figure had come out.
Yeah, they're Legends classic figures.
Yes.
So-
Yeah, and
First-
I thought it was very funny because my table was beside him, and part of the deal was they're supposed to sign some,
People brought them.
Yes.
I bought them at stores. They're like, please, Rock and Roll Express. I paid for Rock and Roll Express autograph. Can you autograph
Yes.
Rock and Roll Express tag figures?
Yes, and I remember hearing them tell the fans, we can't do it. Because we have a contract.
We have a contract because we signed a Japanese company
Yes.
and the first ever
I love
autograph from
wrestling.
us for this Japanese
Yes,
company.
I love
we cannot
wrestling.
sign your fan.
10 seconds.
10 seconds. All right.
Some fan from Charlotte, just been waiting all their life to meet him. Bullet.
Well,
okay?
it feels like we've been waiting all our life
Yeah.
to wrap up this auction
Oh,
right
I love
now.
it, Bullet. I love
but
it.
we got up to 650. Brian Kanabrowski, right? All right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
So much.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations, Brian. You're
All
walking
right,
away
thank you.
with this
His
one.
first PWX show.
First,
Oh,
his
was
first
it? Oh, my
PWX
goodness.
show.
Oh,
Even though I know for sure you can see him sitting in the crowds and one's after
oh yeah,
that.
yeah. He may be on there.
He may be on there.
Maybe on
sitting
one
in
side
front.
of the crowd.
All right, George.
Okay, Bullet. I'm
This
still looking for the
this
picture.
next piece.
Oh, Bullet.
This next piece. This
Very as old as I am.
bids will start at $5 and work their way up. This is a ring jacket from George
One of the-
South, and as everybody knows about George South and his ring jacket,
Yes.
everybody's like, "Oh, George doesn't work. He just does that whole jacket."
I know.
thing."
Oh my gosh. I actually took this one off. They say I never take my jacket off,
Yeah.
but I took this one off so we could auction off. But a neat little story about this is
Give it to me.
when I had first started Georgia Championship Wrestling, I remember Bob Roop, who was there at that time, had yelled, not at me because I was so unimportant I didn't get yelled at, but he had yelled at one of the guys that because they didn't have a ring jacket. And I was just there at Georgia Championship Wrestling even before Crockett. So I just knew. You didn't have to tell me twice, even though he didn't tell me the first time. I knew I gotta get a ring jacket. And at that time, like now, not much money, but I knew that I had to get me something. Okay, So I purchased this, which it very much looks very Bruce Lee-ish.
It does. It's like karate gi.
Yeah, very
almost.
karate gi. But that time, well, even now,
It's
what
so
I can
much like
afford.
steamboats, like the
Very,
red
very
gi.
steamboatish.
Yeah. Very,
Oh,
with the
boy.
gi. Yeah.
And what was so funny is it was very dull looking, but I knew I had to be a little bit flashy. So what's very special about the back of it is Nelson Royal's wife, who actually sewed a lot of ring gear back in the day. Nelson Royal, NWA Junior Champ at one time. His wife actually sewed my favorite verse, John 3:16, on the back of it. So a lot of special history there. It's very, very simple, but I loved it because at that time in my career, the jackets didn't stay on long because they, by then the big name would just jump you and beat the crap out of you.
There'd be the graphic.
Oh, yeah.
we have in this corner George South
Oh, yeah.
taking on Nikita Cole.
Oh, yeah, and then-
Scream, jacket
Yeah,
off,
that's it.
feet up, sickle.
That's exactly.
He goes to the desk. He does the interview.
This is true story, Bullet. During this era, they used to the boys used to laugh at me because they would say I would make it to the dressing room before my jacket would. Now that's an art form, okay? To get knocked out that quick to where seriously, I would usually just take my own jacket back. That's a true story, Bullet. So
if one of those things, you'd be walking, they'd be carrying it back there, and you're like going
I'd pass
past them, and then all of a sudden they're like, "You want to take it?"
Oh yeah,
back?"
yeah.
Oh,
Well,
sure.
they'd hand it off to me,
Yeah.
like a fullback or something. So but I remember Kevin Sullivan. A lot of the guys in the early days, they'd laugh that I would actually I'd be back there waiting on my ring jacket. That's how fast my match was over. But a lot of history there. Of course, it's very, very simple. Guys would look at that now and say, "What the heck?" But I had a ring jacket. They didn't have to tell me twice. And
You
of
didn't have
course-
Raven telling you.
Oh,
twice,
no.
like, "Hey, you need a ring jacket."
No, and then that's of course, like I said, Nelson Royal's wife is a sweet lady. She actually added a little bit of flash to it. So very, very excited about that, and I'll be sure to, if they would like tonight, I'll personalize that. I just thought of that if they would like.
Yeah, we'll have
but-
you sign it. For
Yeah.
sure, absolutely.
I mean, a good.
Rodney Lewis Freeman is the high bidder at $100.
Rodney Lewis Friedman, right there. Let's go ahead and get a closer shot of the embroidery.
And there's actually pictures. Well, I don't have one with me tonight, but
Oh, I've
early
seen the
on.
pictures, yeah,
Oh,
for sure.
yeah.
They do exist.
All
This
over.
is-
Yeah, they sure do. That's one of the very, very old ones, and it's been around a long, long time. And like I said, it very, very Ricky Steamboat-ish.
with the gi.
Gi. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
and you know, and the Jones 316 right there in the back. But talk about one time. I love this story. They were doing TV. You talk about
Yes.
it. You had John. You had, not only did you have Jones 316 on your ring jacket, you also had it on your
I sure
tights,
did.
which caused a commotion. In
Big
WCW.
commotion. And Bullet, here's what I would like everybody to understand is at that time, they was just everything. I mean, you had Diamond Stud, which was Scott Hall, but Diamond Stud in his big, across his butt. You had Van Hammer with those skimpy looking tights. You had Johnny B. Bad that had the big lips on his cheeks. So
Yeah,
everybody.
Kevin Sullivan, Devil.
Oh gosh, yeah. And everybody. One guy even had to sacrifice, like, seriously, one of the heels from like Florida had like a sacrificed chicken. I mean, the chicken's neck broke. Everything on these tights.
And Lord knows what Rick Rude put on his.
And
his
so,
tights.
and here's what's so amazing about that is I was just going to go out there and do my job. I had my tights, and I'll never forget it. I had put them on, and I was getting ready to go to the ring. I wasn't going to preach to nobody. I was just going to go do my job, literally do a job. But anyway, so I remember I took 2 steps. Grizzly Smith was the first one. Bless his heart. He said, "Excuse me." He didn't know what it was. He said, "What's that on the back of your trunks?" I said, "Well, it's a Bible verse." He said, No. I mean, and Van Hammer was actually in the ring waiting on me, and I get revenge knowing that I shut down TBS company. But anyway, he said, "You got to take those off." And the first time in my life, Bullet, I said no. I've always been a company man. I said, "Screw this." Are you kidding me? Because I'm looking over at Johnny B. Bad. Are you kidding me? Everybody's butts hanging out. I said, "You got to be kidding me." So, long story short, he said, "We got to come with me." They take me in a room, Bullet, with Dusty, Jody Hamilton, all of the agents, and they stopped TV production, TBS Studios, stopped it to take me in that room. And I said, "I can't believe this is happening. I just want to see how far it would go." And then they looked right at Dusty and said, "You got to take those off." I said, "Dusty, it's the only pair I got." He said, "We don't care. Ted Turner doesn't want anything like that on your show." And long story short, he said, "Well, we'll at least let you turn them inside out." And then they said, "Oh, we're not going to pay you." So, and I'm stuck in Atlanta, and I need my money. Well, so I actually turned the tights. Van Hammer's still in the ring shaking his head for like 20 minutes, waiting on me. So anyway, I got in the ring, and this is what I'm getting at, Bullet. When it was all over, I went up to Michael Hayes. This is a true story, who I was always pretty close with him. And I said, "Michael, I can't believe and this was early. This is before anybody freaked out. But I said, "Michael, I can't believe they told me to take them off." You know what he told me? He said, "Because one day they're going to use that to make money." And I thought that was like the dumbest thing I'd ever heard in my life. Nobody's going to use a man's faith but buddy, was I wrong. Buddy, was I wrong. He's going to say, "What the heck? Buddy, was I wrong." So, but you know what? Amazing story, the circle of life. The only thing left in Atlanta, Georgia is my trunks. WCW is gone. I'm just saying. I don't want to end it. I mean, I don't want to talk about a sad note, but what I'm saying.
There's probably no sad news in the bids. What we got right now, Michael?
All right, just give you an update since we last broke. Rodney Freeman went to 140. Robert Delph went to 150. They went back and forth. And then Tracy Smothers. Tracy Myers.
Yeah.
Tracy Myers
Jumped in at 200.
at $200.
And then Rodney Lewis went in at 205.
Rodney Lewis has 205. So it's between Rodney Lewis, Freeman, Tracy Myers. Let us know if you're in or you're out, Tracy.
And Bullet, you know what's so funny is, and I try to teach this now with our school, is I didn't know anything. I don't know much more now, but I knew that I had to have something. You see, nobody, Bob Root yelled, but he didn't yell at me, but I said, okay, this rain jacket thing, maybe I need to do that. So it was cheap as can be, but I added that John 3:6. I had to have, something. You see what I'm saying? So that was very, very special. And they didn't tell me to take that off, but yeah.
Well, they knew it was going to be taken off and
later on.
And get to the locker room second behind you.
Yeah, exactly. But my comeback to Dusty, and I wasn't trying to be a jerk, I just wanted a reason. And I even said, will Johnny be bad? I was like a little kid in kindergarten. And I said, well, Johnny B. Bad's got his lips hanging out. And I said, there's diamond stud. It didn't matter, But anyway,
60 seconds.
But I did turn them out. Long story, boom, turned them out, got my money, went home, and rest is history.
Yep. Well, pretty soon it's going to be history. Rodney Freeman, right now you're sitting on the 6-second clock. A little bit getting closer.
And they'll let us know if they want us to sign it.
I'm sure
because I won't unless they want me to sign it. Or
if you're like, no, George South's autograph on his first ever ring jacket's going to ruin it.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be a statement. For sure.
Yeah, the rugged smell and just a lot of miles. I've used it to cover up. I've used it as a pillow. I've thrown it at my kids. No, I have not.
No,
but anyway.
Well, let's go back over to one thing. So Michael Hayes, your friend. Why didn't you ever try to get me a job? You can pick up the phone. If you can pick up the phone with Michael Hayes,
you know something?
Why have you never picked up the phone? I feel like I'd be Michael Hayes' type.
But you know what? And he did get me back years ago. There used to be a music video show, Night Tracks. I don't know if you remember that. Yeah. It was before MTV, and it was Ted Turner. Ted Turner owned everything. And we had to be at a studio 9 a.m. in the morning to tape a video. At 9 a.m. we're freezing, and all I had to do was feed Michael Hayes for a chop. Mm-hmm. And he had to say, stay tuned. He'd chop me, and he'd say, stay tuned for TBS Night Tracks. For some reason, now that later I found out what he was doing, it took us like 42 takes because he just wanted to chop the crap out of me all day. Now, here's the greatest interview guy in the world, kept messing his lines up. Yeah, right, boy. He said, man, I don't know what's got into me today. He said, I just can't get that last part. Retake. So about 42 times, my chest. Anyway, we got it right, though. It took us like 40 times.
Well, let's see if we're ready for a 10.
So Robert Delph he's out. Thank you for letting us know.
Thank you, Rob.
We're waiting on Tracy Myers to respond to the 205 bid. He says he's out, so now you can put this on a 10-second clock.
10-second clock right here for Rodney.
205 for Rodney Lewis Freeman.
205 for Rodney Lewis Freeman in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations, Rodney. You're walking away with first ever.
That's it, buddy. Very, very old school there.
Very old school right there. And speaking of old school, next item. I was a little worried we were going to get to this, but we got the time to get to it.
I'm going to get emotional.
Business started at $5. This is a poster.
Original
poster.
Tribune show print. Remember Tribune show print?
Yes.
Is the actual company that made them.
Exactly. And it was an event that happened in Eden, North Carolina. The thing that makes it unique is Luthez was on the card, but he's wrestling a man by the name of Mark Ironman Thunder. Tell me who Mark Ironman Thunder
Well, everyone knows that I was so much in love with Paul Jones from a little kid, even when I very started wrestling. And Paul, very egomaniac-ish, would not let me. I wanted to be George Jones, but I've shared with you that there was a George Jones that was very popular at that time.
There's a very popular George Jones. And you are very different than that George
George
Jones.
Very much.
You still can drive. George Jones could not drive.
That's right. And what was so bad is Paul wouldn't let me use the Jones because he said, he's still working and he didn't want, he told me he thought it would make him look old. Okay, whatever. So anyway, I came up with this name, Iron Man. I came out to the Road Warrior music May before they came out to it, Iron Man from Rush or whoever did it. So anyway, I became Iron Man Thunder. Okay? So what was so special, and Bullet, just by the happening in this great book, I actually found the actual picture that's in this book. So it was 1985. So that's me and Luthez.
Yeah, okay, so this is a picture from
that
event right there where you're wrestling Luthez as Mark Iron Man Thunder right there.
And boy, what was so special is I was very, very young, and I knew Luthez from the magazines. I mean, it says, anyway. So I went to his dressing room and was going to tell him what I was going to do.
How'd that
If you
work
can
out
ima-
for you?
Oh, it didn't work out too good.
Okay.
He stopped me in mid-sentence and said, "You're going to shut up, first of all." And I said, "Yes, sir, I sure will." And then when we got out there, what was so amazing about Luthez, as you see in that picture, that head scissors was probably the roughest, stiffest move I've ever took in my life. And he didn't hurt me physically, like in the face, but you knew, oh my God, he could like break me in half.
Yeah,
So,
you knew somebody was in charge of it.
oh, he was in charge, and he had, I mean, please, he did whatever. So anyway, so this is actually from that show. A lot of years in this, but that, of course, Iron Man Thunder. And the only reason I went back to George South, my real name is Gene Gordon, a real old photographer at that time, started getting me in the wrestling magazines. And I was telling all my buddies from school and everywhere that, man, I'm in a magazine, and when you looked, it was Iron Man, Mark Thunder. So they thought I was lying. So I said, screw that. I'm going back to George South. So that's the only reason. So I started using my real name. So when I got in the top 10 ratings, it was me. It was George South in those ratings. Yes. So.
Well, let's see what real names we got
Alright,
in
we
this
had,
spot.
we had two almost simultaneous $50 bids between Drew Smith and James McCone. Then David Roberts doubled that to $100.
$100.
Yep. And then Tracy Myers came in at $125.
Tracy Myers at
So
$125.
just David Robertson let us know he's out. If anybody else that's interested and has bid, if they let us know
David
they're out.
Robinson, let us know if you're in or you're out.
David Roberts is out. He did.
Okay, David, thank you very much, David, for following the rules of that. And you guys, like I said, once you get to a point that you guys are out, let us know. But right now, Tracy Myers is sitting at 125, if I'm not mistaken. So if anybody else wants it, let us know. But we're gonna kind of sit on the 6-second clock right
And
now.
if they would like us to sign it, I'll be glad to sign it. If they would like.
What do they want you to clarify?
Oh, that's
If you
very
want
true.
us to
Thank you.
want him to sign is Iron Man Mark
Oh
Thunder.
yes. Oh boy, I love
That's gonna be the
that.
question. Instead of George South, you want him to sign?
And I can guarantee you, if that is what they would like, that would be the actual first time I'd ever sign that name. I wasn't even important enough to even sign an autograph as Iron Man
Okay.
Mark Thunder.
Yeah,
So
well,
it could be a very first here tonight, Bullet, if that's what they would like. So, but very, very special. And what's a little tribute news here, a little tidbit. This is actually our friend Tony Hunter, who promoted the show. Johnny Hunter was his dad.
Exactly.
And what's so special, this is Johnny Hunter, and this is also Johnny Hunter. So we just put a mask on him. So very, very special. So a lot of years.
All right.
Right.
Head movements. Let's put this on a 60-second clock to
Okay.
Tracy Myers.
Okay, I thought we were already at 6 o'clock, but we're right there.
Yeah.
So we'll give it another 60.
And of course the pictures of the book, a lot of and the actual newspaper clipping from this is actually in the book.
Okay.
So we have the
So
newspaper clipping.
go ahead and pick up that book as well.
Yes.
Tracy Myers, I'm sure you already have it, but you can use this as an authentication.
Oh, yeah.
George can even sign it to Mark Iron Man Thunder if you wish, or if you just want George
And
South,
but listen,
let us know.
this is why I laugh at every independent wrestler in the world. Okay, of course I was the main event, but if you look down here, Mark Thunder, okay, the same guy actually worked again, and maybe there's another time. So I worked 3 or 4 times.
And Chief J. Eagle worked twice.
Oh yeah, and there's probably 3 people on this show with Luthez.
Oh, Terry Slater also
Yeah,
wrestles
yeah.
as
See?
well.
So you're talking about a very, of course, you know.
Wait a minute, they're giving it away here. Hold on. Chief J. Eagle in a Southern Heavyweight title match against Terry Slater.
Right.
But then they come back in the street fight. So I guarantee there was some sort of disqualification. They brought it out in the street fight.
Yeah,
so you already see the angle play out on the poster.
Yeah. See, Bullet. That's
Can we
actually
put that
very
on the close-up camera.
Yeah,
That's actually very good,
we'll definitely
Bullet.
put on the close-up camera right now. Right there.
But I was
And
very
then-
careful not to
but
use
there's-
Iron Man.
There's
till
what
the
I'm
main
saying
event.
about Chief J. Eagle, Terry Slater.
Yeah.
And then they come back in a street fight.
Yeah.
Right there. They have partners now. Apparently you sided with Terry.
Yes.
And Johnny Savage was like, no, sir, I'm siding with Chief J. Eagle. I like it when the wrestling poster already gives you spoilers.
Oh
That's-
yeah.
I just-
Way before the internet or anything like that.
I mean, they should put on a poster for SmackDown. This will end up being a tag team match because of Teddy Long.
Yeah. Who needs anybody to write anything up?
No, just-
But that's what was so special is me actually thinking that Luthez was going to listen to me, and he was very polite, very professional. But he did. He said, "You're going to shut up first of all," and I did. You know, I didn't argue, but I knew. I mean, he was a little bit older even then, but just man, you know, I knew he was there. So
Well, we're right here right now for the 10-second count, and 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations, Tracy Myers. You're
Yeah,
walking away
so
with this wonderful
excited.
poster.
Yeah.
But we only have 2 items remaining, and the big 2 items. And apparently,
Oh, my
we're already at
goodness.
the 9 o'clock hour. We've done 3 hours. Solid so far.
So good. Thank you,
And
everybody.
We're hopefully get this done in less than an hour before Facebook kicks us off. But
Yeah.
we've got a big one here.
Very, very special here. Really. Very, very
Excuse
special.
me. This one right here. Now, this has a little tag
Yeah.
that we posted, and this little
And
tag.
for some reason, I'm so thankful that I made that tag that at that time that I had received this.
Absolutely.
I mean, for some
you
reason.
received
You know?
these pieces of clothes that were in tatters.
Yes.
Pants are in pretty good condition, and the pants are Armani.
Yes,
if
they
you're
are.
curious.
The tag's in it.
And the reason why they're Armani is because these are the clothes that Ric Flair wore when Shawn Michaels tore them off him
Yes.
on Monday Night Raw, December 8th, 2003. I
That's
believe
right.
we have some screen caps right now of said event right now of Ric Flair in those actual clothes. Now, if you go back and watch the episode, it goes to black before he rips the clothes off him. Obviously, when Shawn Michaels ripped the clothes off, it was
Yeah.
dark, but you can see Ric Flair wearing these particular clothes. And like I said, these are Armani pants, and we'll go ahead and show that right now.
Yeah.
Right now, you'll see the tags
Yeah. Thank you.
in here are Armani. Right there, so obviously a gentleman of quality
Oh, very much.
was wearing this. Nice workout shirt and nice, wonderful pants worn by Ric Flair. Like I said,
And Bullet, you know what's so special is
Tag
nowadays, even probably some of the guys would, if they knew this angle was going to happen, you know, even back in the day, they would go to Goodwill or somewhere like that and maybe find, you know, a nice pair of clothes because you're going to get it ripped off. I mean, who would think?
and right here, the pants are kind of torn.
Yeah.
Right here on the side. Now, this event took place in Anaheim, California.
Right.
Now, how did you procure this particular
A
item?
very, very good friend, Charles Robinson, as we both know, the WWF referee, was
Okay.
there, and they'll actually, on that clip, they'll see Charles being part of the big angle where Shawn Michaels comes and clears the ring, and that was a gift to me years ago. And Bull, I was going to add this, and not to get people to bid or anything like that, but and you know this, but I've got a very good friend in the wrestling business that I've known for a long time, and good friends with our buddy Steve Perkins, and he actually lost everything that he had. I'm not going to embarrass him or anything like that, but a fire took, and I'm really going to try to help him. I ain't doing that to be a baby face or anything like that, but you know, just imagine he lost his first pair of boots. He lost basically everything in a fire, and I'm just hoping that you know, I'll be able to just bless him a little bit, and not so anybody would bid, but you, because I know people. Someone's already asked me, well, why are you getting rid of this? If you've had it for this long and you know it's Ric Flair's and you're good friends with Ric Flair, and it's simple. It sounds corny or whatever, but I am seriously.
We need a little extra money in your pocket to give to somebody
No,
else.
exactly.
And I
And
know
so,
how it is. I've actually probably given more money to charity during this
Yeah.
time, and
Yeah.
while I'm.
And see, when we
You know.
first announced that we were coming here, you wouldn't believe the messages I got. They thought, oh my God, George is going out of business. But they don't understand, 41 years, I'm not lying, Bullet. And what was so special about my museum is, see, now nobody would give you nothing because they're already thinking you're going straight to eBay.
Well, now that they see this,
Oh,
nobody's
oh, oh.
giving nothing anymore. Everybody's hanging on.
Don't give me nothing. But in the early days, of course, even like old wrestling boots, if you couldn't afford a pair, an old timer would give you a pair of his to help you get started, and that's where 41 years of my stuff really came from. Is just a lot of friends, and there's a lot of stuff, and I have no problem, and I just hope it does good. So that's from the Nature Boy. Again,
Charles
like you
Robinson
said,
specifically?
Yep, exactly.
And, you know, that shirt.
And it's funny because someone said, I don't know if they thought it was mine or not, but yeah, Armani, please. I can't even say it, much
Armani.
less.
Nice
Yeah.
Armani
I didn't even know what that
pants.
was till you told me.
George, your other suit pants don't say Armani?
No. Well, it said mine says like Value Village.
That or
something.
Cato Fashion.
Yeah,
Switch
Cato
it.
Fashion. Mine says Cato Fashion on it.
All right, let me give everybody a history of the bidding here.
Okay.
It's gone up quickly. We started off with Drew Smith at 100.
Drew
Austin
Smith at
Madrid went to 120. Michael Blanton 125. Greg McSwingen.
Greg McSwinnon. That's
I
a
know.
first. That's
Oh,
a first time
a
name.
Wow.
It's a new
Went to
name.
150. Austin Madrid to 160. Drew Smith to 175. P.W. Wyndham
P.W. Wyndham.
$200.
$200.
Drew Smith went to $225.
$225. Drew Smith.
Wow.
David Roberts went to $230.
All right.
P.W. Wyndham went to $250. Greg McSween came back at $270. Drew Smith went to $300, which is where we're at right now.
Drew Smith, $300. Everybody else, let us know if you're in or you're out. See if you can do better. But right now we're at $300.
Yeah.
Drew Smith. Everybody else, let us know if you're in or you're out. And the way you let us know that you're in is do better than $300. But if you're out, you're out.
P.W. Wyndham has done $325.
P.W. Wyndham is $325. So everybody else, let us know if you're in or you're out. $325, top bid. Back to Ric Flair.
Yeah, and what's so special about it? But like you shared earlier, it is ripped. I mean, it is people. You know, I even had a guy say it. Yeah, exactly. I don't know if they expected us to have something from Ric Flair that was in perfect good shape, that had just been ripped off of him in television. And of course, any Ric Flair fan,
even if it was in good shape, Ric Flair would still throw in the trash.
Oh yeah,
He'd still throw
no,
in the trash.
exactly. And folks, I did go through the pockets, maybe a Rolex. No, so it was nothing in there.
There's nothing in there. Now you were in charge of getting Ric Flair's robes.
Yes,
A couple of times, a couple of TVs.
Many times. And you know, Good Morning America, back in the day, they would have maybe once a year a wrestler would come on and not really dog the business, but just let them talk about what they're doing, Ric Flair. And he approached me one time on TV and he said, I'm going to Good Morning America. Could you take my robes to Atlanta? Olivia Walker, Mr. Wrestling 2's wife, who made all of his robes, and she was just going to fine tune them, all of them. I met him at Charlotte Airport.
Even though it's going to be a wide shot, you're not going to see individual robes. But it's like, hey, a wide shot.
Well, this is true story. I met him at Charlotte Airport. This is when Flair had 17 robes, if you can believe it. I took his very first robe was just a plain old purple one. I took 17 robes to Atlanta. And I told you the story. I was driving down 85, and I did something for the Nature Boy. You know, I was so happy. I got to about Greenville, and then I started getting real hot. I mean, I was getting mad because I'm thinking, okay, this is a true story. I was in an old Pinto. I don't know if them old cars, back in the day. They don't even make them no more. Probably the worst car ever made. It was worth like maybe $400. I got to about Greenville, and I'm thinking, my car's worth $400. And I got like probably $300,000 in the trunk of my car. My biggest regret is I didn't steal one. I mean, I'm just saying right now. So I got to Atlanta, dropped every one of them off to Olivia Walker, if you can believe that, and she fine-tuned him. He went on to Good Morning America, but I should have took one. I don't think he would have known. Stupid me
He almost didn't know about a pair of boots that he left here in the office. He had a pair of boots that were sitting here, and I had him hid in the back. And I wasn't going to give it back to him because I heard this story,
yes.
And I knew this, and I go, if I learned anything from George, you hang on to this.
Yes.
So I hung on to these boots for the longest time. I'm like, I'm going to get this Ric Flair boot. I'm going to get these Ric Flair boots. I'm going to get these Ric Flair boots. And but the thing is, if he asked me for them,
yes,
I would have to give it to him.
Right.
So I hid them away in the office, and then I'll never forget the day when he goes, hey, you got those boots? It was the saddest day of my entire life. I was this close to getting a pair of Ric Flair boots. And now, granted, by now, as where I'm at, personally, I probably would have auctioned off by now.
Right, yeah.
It would have been the first auction item for sure. But I was this close to getting a pair of Ric Flair boots.
But I remember it was several of his peacocks. It was some of the early robes, the most beautiful things you've ever seen. And, of course, when I met Olivia Walker, she toured. She showed me. She was making one for Terry Taylor. She made Greg Valentine's. She made a lot of the boys' stuff back then. But I'll never forget that. Innocent George, you know, Mr. John 3. No, I should have just not stole it, but just left one by accident. But I gave them all back, and of course, took every one of them to Atlanta. All that money in the back trunk of my car, driving that old Pinto.
Well, let's see who's got a bunch of money in the back of their car.
So I don't remember exactly where we picked off 30 minutes ago, but Drew Smith went to $300. P.W. Wyndham went to $325.
Yep.
Drew Smith came back at $350. And let's see, I put a 60-second count on that. Dave Miller went up to $375. $375 is what we're at. If we're telling Ric Flair stories,
yeah,
I think you got another one that you may want to tell about a time in Philadelphia. But
Yeah.
it's not my story to tell.
All right,
it's up to you if you want to tell a story.
Drew
Smith is at $385 for now.
$385. Tell you what, if this gets over $400, I'll tell you my Ric Flair story that involves me going to cheerleaders. How about that? I will tell my story. If this gets over $400, I will tell you a story about when me and Ric Flair went to cheerleaders in Philadelphia before Ring of Honor taping. So
Dave
we'll,
Miller's at $3.95. So next
Oh,
bid will
oh.
unlock that story.
next bid will unlock that story.
Yeah.
It's the best story I have. I don't think I've shared it on any platform whatsoever. I've never
man,
shared
I
it on
don't
a
know.
podcast. Never shared it on any of my podcasts or somebody else's podcast. Any of the fireside chats. You might have to plug your ears a couple of times on this story because it is the.
Bullet, I will add this real quick. You know, many times I was getting knocked out on television, and I think I've shared this with you. And of course, a lot of them were accidents, a lot of them were intentional. Sid Vicious used to knock me out about every week. One particular time, Atlanta TV, the Steiners knocked me out. I mean, I really thought I was dead. I'd never been knocked out physically for any length of time. And what was so funny is, no, they didn't have a doctor at ringside. They didn't have paramedics. They drugged me back. This is a true story. Drugged me back to the dressing room, and I'm laying in the floor. Literally, I was out. And the next match is stepping over me. You know, it's like I'm in your way. Excuse me. And I'll never forget this. For some reason, nobody was even like checking on me. But I'll never forget this. Ric Flair walked by. It's a true story, Bullet, and he bent down, and he put $50 in my hand, and just kept walking. He sure did. And I don't know if what hit him, but he later, of course, he said
He can't give you emotional support.
no,
but he give you money.
oh yeah, and I'll never forget it. For some reason, I remember that I was out, and then I didn't go to the doctor or nothing. I just
Probably thought you were a homeless person. Let's be honest. probably like a homeless person.
Yeah,
Here you go. Here's some change.
No, he thought I was laying in front of the CNN Center. That's what it was. Oh. But it was a very, very special moment. Just to me, if I needed it to get home or doctors or whatever. But anyway, so that was pretty cool. So Steiners still knocked me out.
Your lips are still sealed. It's $3.95.
$3.95. Nobody's gonna get that story, I guess. Nobody's gonna get it.
Bullet.
It's one of my better stories.
Man.
Let's put it on a 60-second clock to $3.95.
$3.95, 6 second
story's
clock.
worth it.
Story's not worth an extra $5. That's just gonna do real well for my
Yeah.
self-esteem. It's one of the better. It's one of the better. Thought I was in therapy now. I'm gonna send a message tonight.
Yeah.
An extra $5. You don't want this story?
I know.
All right, fine. I'll keep it for a fireside chat one of these
Yeah.
days, or
Yeah.
or when I do like Egos Amigos or something. So, whatever. But this is where we get Ric Flair.
Thank
You before we get past Ric Flair, as this is on a 6 second clock. Talk about wrestling him on TV that day. That's the thing that people always remember about you.
It sure
you getting
does.
Ric Flair.
And Bullet, you know what's very, very special, even nowadays, to hear wrestling fans come up and say that they actually thought I may have beat Ric Flair. I mean, to be a part of somebody's life for all these years, that they still remember me against Ric Flair. And what a lot of people don't know is Ric Flair on Saturday mornings at 9 a.m., he hated to wrestle.
Just wanted to cut an interview and go to the next.
Yes, because he had to go catch a plane and
then main event that show.
Yes, exactly. So because he knew he was just as over doing an interview, but every now and then Dusty would stick the screws to him and tell him to wrestle. And he used to hate that. They get some heated arguments because Flair he didn't want to go to the airport sweaty, shower, redhead or whatever. So that one particular morning, Dusty said, "You're going to work tonight," and right in front of everybody, Flair says, "Well, give me George." Oh my gosh! And Bullet, it was like I just had a baby. I mean, really, to hear Flair say, "Well, give me George," okay? And then that's when we got ready to go. We didn't talk at all. He didn't dress with me. I mean, I was a nervous wreck. Bullet, this is it for me, okay? Oh, this is it. And I'm gonna get the ball. And Bullet, he looked over at me before we went out, and he said, "Tonight you're Ricky Steamboat." And literally, that I did have the baby then, Bullet, okay? And then what he meant by that is, and you're talking about in shape, Bullet. See, I thought. I was so literally, it's a true story. We went to 2 commercials, and I thought, well, like most of the guys, he'd grab a hold through that first commercial. And so Jackie Crockett told us that we're going to the first commercial, and I'm thinking, thank you, Lord. He's going to grab a hold. He didn't. He just kept going. And literally, everybody says, yeah, in that match, you climbed to the top rope and fell off. I said, and your point? I mean, yeah, of course I did. And literally, when it was over, I crawled. I'm not making this up. I remember Kevin Sullivan was sitting in a chair, and I literally I crawled, Bullet, right by him. I mean, I've never been so physically tired. And Flair was just, he wasn't even sucking wind. But that was the beginning of it. And then later, of course, he asked for me many, many times. But, man, to hear fans still talk about that
particular match.
It's pretty cool.
A lot of the times that you wrestle him.
And Flair, you know what's funny is people say, yeah, that you're just kind of a neat story. But Flair actually in his book, and he shares that where it was so neat because of him and Steamboat's famous matches. So he said, "Night, your Steamboat."
Maybe this will help your ego. We have crossed the $400 threshold. Drew Smith got us to 4. Dave Miller said, no, I still want this item, 405. Gained about 20 viewers. Waiting for Jake's cheerleader story.
Oh,
Okay. We're gained some viewers here.
Oh,
well,
boy.
we got the 4.
Yes.
We're gonna fight it out. George, you hold on to this.
Okay.
I need my hands to describe this
Okay.
story. So we've gotten over the threshold. We've gained some viewers. So call up your friends, get up with them. I can't get up with them because I'm not on social media anymore. But I can at least share this story on a social media platform about Ric Flair. Well, when we worked a deal out with Ric Flair, we were kind of in charge of his wrestling bookings. He had an agent dealing with his entertainment bookings. We dealt with his wrestling bookings. And one of the bookings that we lined up for him were several appearances with Ring of Honor. They were not going very well, to say the least. They were hitting a lot of road bumps. He was mispronouncing a lot of names. It was a bit of an issue, and Ring of Honor was on their last like nerve with Ric Flair. So us, as being in charge of Ric Flair and handling these bookings, we're trying to make good and make sure everything's happening properly. So I was tasked with meeting Ric Flair at the hotel, at the Marriott by the Philadelphia airport, and make sure that he got to the venue, the ECW arena, which is where Ring of Honor was filming their HDNet tapings at the time. And actually, I wore this actual same jacket. This same jacket with my nice Steve Maddens that I wear, with my suit that I'll probably wear again this next sellathon. So I looked real nice. It was all official and stuff like that. And I was just waiting downstairs for Rick to come on downstairs, and for us to go to Ring of Honor TV. And that was my job, is to get Rick at least to the building. So I get to the building. Before we get to the building, I'm waiting for him. All of a sudden, I notice this guy in a very nice suit walk in with 2 very attractive females who were dressed a little bit skimpier than they should be for 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday, and they had cheerleaders across their chest, like the were cheerleaders, the logo of the particular bar that I didn't know about, but I would soon find out later what exactly it was, because apparently this driver was in charge of picking up Rick, and then shortly after they walked in, I'm sitting like, what is this? And I remember those women and the guy didn't pay me any attention whatsoever. They acted like I didn't even exist in their world, and we just happened to be waiting at the same exact spot, which happened to be the same exact spot Rick told everybody to wait for him. He comes down, and of course they're to pick up Rick. And this driver thought it'd be a good idea to get some girls from cheerleaders to ride over with Rick to the Ring of Honor TV taping. All of a sudden, now that I'm associated with Rick, I exist in their world. So all of a sudden, they're nice to me when they were very cold to me before. That's an interesting story about humanity and society. So we all drive over there. We get to the Ring of Honor taping, and I'll never forget this. And this is not a good story to tell about Ric Flair, but I'm going to tell it anyways. I'll never forget, as we pulled up and we're going inside to the old ECW arena for these HDNet tapings, there was this fan there he flew from Japan. And I'll never forget, he was waiting outside the ECW arena. I don't know why they allowed this fan just sitting in the back of the ECW arena. And he had a magazine, a Japanese magazine with Ric Flair's picture in it. And he goes, "Oh, Flair, I give to you. I brought from Japan as a gift." And I'll never forget, Rick very graciously said, "Oh, thank you so much." Took the magazine. We walked inside. The second that the door closed, he took the magazine and threw it against the wall. And then walked on. Went in a room, told everybody in charge of Ring of Honor he's only there to cut promos and then leave. He cut promos for like 2 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever, and then all of a sudden he just goes, "All right, Jake, let's go to the bar." Go to the bar. I thought, okay, we'll go to like a bar. I didn't realize it was a strip club. And it turns out, I figured out what cheerleaders is. It's the strip club next to the old ECW arena. Now, I mean, if somebody would have brought over some Tony Luke's, I've been all game. But like here now, I'm a strip club with Ric Flair, and we're just enjoying the show. And I'm getting Miller Lights. Girls are offering to do things with both of us, one of us, whatever. It's awkward. It's weird. It's very weird. I'm having it, and I'll never forget. Rick is like we keep toasting every 5 minutes awkwardly. I don't know why. Like one toast is fine, but it's like he got too like it's like he had too many drinks and forgot that we toasted earlier. It was a weird thing. We toasted drinks like 8 times. It was weird. So at this time, Michael has finally landed in Philadelphia. He's finally got to the ECW arena. He is now upset at me, Jake Mann, because I have not kept Ric Flair at the building, which was my job. I cannot control Ric Flair. He is a force of nature that I cannot stop. So I'm sitting at the bar. Michael's texting me, "Hey, you need to get Rick back to the ECW arena." Okay, all right. Then I would go, "Excuse me, Mr. Flair. I think Michael said that we probably need to get back to, Ring of Honor for some tapings and stuff like that." And of course, Rick looks at me and goes, "I already talked to Michael. It's good." So then I go back to Michael. He said he talked to you and said it's good. Michael explains to me it's not good. An hour and a half goes by. I finally have been getting enough free Miller Lite that I have now had a complete beyond buzz. I am drunk now. I am now drunk, and now Ric Flair has finally decided, I feel like working now. So then he goes over, he cuts a promo at the beginning of the show. I'm pissed drunk. Michael pulls me outside and goes, "What happened?" And now I have to explain myself. Drunk. I'm like, well, and I'm hammering and hammering. Also, too, 5 minutes before Michael pulled me outside to scold me, I decided that was the best time to hand my promo package to Adam Pearce, who was booking Ring of Honor. I was completely shit-faced and go, "Hey, can you mind booking me sometime?" I figured that was the best time to talk to the booker of Ring of Honor at the time, is when I'm completely drunk. I'm getting yelled at because I can't control Ric Flair. Ric Flair basically comes out, mispronounces everybody's name, and just gives Ring of Honor deuces. And I believe that's the last time he ever appeared in Ring of Honor, and it's the last time I've ever gone to a strip club with Ric Flair. So that is my Ric Flair story in a nutshell.
Wow, that was worth it.
I hope that was worth it.
Yeah.
That was worth it. I think Dave paid well for it.
Okay.
So 30 seconds to Dave Miller, 4:05.
4:05, Dave Miller, 30 seconds. It's gone back and forth. I mean, I feel like that was the longest 30 seconds
Oh,
ever.
that was good. That was good, boy.
I'm sorry I said the SHAT word. I know
No,
I'm not supposed to
thank
curse in front of you, but I felt like
Thank you.
that was another thing that was difficult about that story. I was keeping the PG version. There's an R-rated. There's an R-rated version, and I don't want to get kicked off of Facebook. I was offered something that I was not ready to accept. I was just not ready to accept.
All right, 10 seconds.
10 seconds, and we got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hold on.
Oh my goodness.
Drew Smith, 4:10.
Drew Smith, 410. Are we in the 5? Oh, I thought we had.
I know. I didn't clarify. It has to be $10. I can't. That was
All right.
Okay.
What other Ric Flair stories?
Yeah.
Between you and I, what other stories we can do to bury that man?
There's got to be something.
Oh, I know a good Michael story. Also, Michael flew. I believe even it was after this trip.
Dave Miller's back at 4:15. Just so you can give
4:15. Dave Miller, 4:15. This is where we're at right now. Drew Smith, let us know if you're in or you're out. Okay, we still have one more item. What time is it right now?
9:25.
9:25. Okay, so please.
Drew Smith is 4:25. So
Drew Smith is 4:25.
A little back and forth.
Drew and David, let us know if you're in or you're out. Go for the death blow here, because we still have one more item, and I think it's the most popular item on the entire table, and I think it's going to fetch a lot of attention, and I think it's the biggest one. So I'm glad we got some viewers in right now. But I know a good sort
Dave
of
Miller, 4:35. I keep interrupting you.
Dave,
coming in. 4:35.
4:35. Dave Miller, Fast and Furious. Trust me, if you think this item's good, wait till you see the next item. Okay, and we might have a similar situation like we had last week with Ron Simmons with the WCW fan club.
Yeah.
So when we get these next things out, so let's get through this auction right here. We got Dave Miller, Drew Smith, back and forth right now, and then we're gonna get out this last item and get out of here before Facebook Live kicks us off, or I just come apart at the absolute seams right now. I'm spilling everything out, but I'm trying to remember all the Ric Flair stuff. I have so many Ric Flair stories.
All right, well, hold on. You may not need to. Drew Smith has said he's out.
Drew Smith is out, so we're on 6-second clock right here.
Dave Miller, 4:35, 30 seconds.
Dave Miller, 4:35, 30 seconds. This is where we're at right now.
Yep.
Dave Miller, not my
Yep.
high school principal.
Nope.
You are going to get these Ric
Armani,
Flair torn
right?
Armani
Armani
pants.
Oh, my goodness.
They're torn. I don't know if you want to get a tailor and fix them. That would probably lower the value of them.
Yeah.
Obviously, we had the screen caps up to describe what, when this happened. Given to you by Charles Robinson. Happened in Anaheim, California. 30 seconds. Going to be yours, Dave Miller.
Ripped off by Shawn Michaels.
By
Yeah,
Shawn Michaels,
yeah,
and
Shawn Michaels.
actually, Ric Flair took a super kick from Shawn.
He sure did.
And I'll never forget, he took the super kick and it was like, it was the best sell of a super kick I've ever seen. It was great. We're now at the 10 seconds.
seconds.
10 seconds for Dave Miller in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations, Dave Miller.
Thank you.
You got those close.
Thank you.
All right, the last
Thank
item.
you.
I've been teasing this for a while.
Oh, my goodness.
I've been excited, and George, we talked about items for you to bring in, and I wasn't for sure you were going to bring these in.
Yeah.
And we're going to do this as a package.
Okay.
We could sell these separately, but I think we're going to fetch more if we put these together.
I love that. Thank you.
And what we
Thank you.
have here, these are envelopes. These are just common envelopes, much like they were common pieces of paper last
Right.
week with Ron Simmons. But what we have here are WCW and Jim Crockett Promotions pay stubs.
Yep.
In the Jim Crockett
and the
Promotions
actual envelopes.
And like I said, the bids will
Yep.
start at $5 right now and then work their way up. Like I said, the nice JCP logo right there. Right there. And of course, WCW. And then, of course, the blank envelope here. Now, the handwriting on this envelope is J.J. Dillon.
Yes, J.J. Dillon's. Yep. He
Now,
always.
this was how the guys communicated. There was no email.
There was no emails?
They would write notes on their actual
Yeah,
envelopes.
and every Tuesday was our payday there for Jim Crockett Promotions, and of course that's how he would get in touch with us to let us know TVs or what was coming up the following week. So JJ actually signed that, and if I could, Bullet, real
By
quick,
all means,
if,
please.
if you don't mind, actually, like we said, what is so cool about the actual pay stubs is, of course, it's got Jim Crockett Promotions, it's got the date. But what was so amazing about, everybody thought we made, now that's actually a pretty decent week right there. But as this one of my favorites, as you may see, and it tells you how many days of the week you had. And of course, as you see the totals, 465 was not bad.
This one right here, 465.
A good day. And so what was so amazing about the actual check stubs is they would list each town that, of course, you were in, either Atlanta.
Yeah, this, of
maybe
course, is
Greensboro.
talent fee, talent fee, trans fee to Atlanta TV.
Yep.
Your
And-
trans fee is actually higher than extra
Up
talent
front, I
fee.
got paid, exactly.
If you
And
share
what's
here.
so very special about the WCW one, if you don't mind,
Yeah,
Bullet,
absolutely.
is, of course, everybody knows Jim Herd and everybody's at, the short-lived genius in WCW. And most people don't have anything good to say about Jim Herd, but I love Jim Herd because his first, and I've shared with you, his first line of business was he got us trans money, which was very, very special back then because you paid for your own gas. And so they broke that down with the trans money that Jim Herd actually was able to get us. And what's so funny is we went from, a lot of the guys drove from Charlotte to where we used to ride together. And I remember Ole went out in the parking lot one time and saw like 12 cars with North Carolina plates. And so he came in there and yelled at all of us because all the boys, we quit riding together because everybody drove.
Yeah.
Because they were hoping to get that $100 trans. So just a very, very
That
special time.
transportation fees right there.
Yeah.
Is that marking right there? Transportation.
And you know what's so funny about all these Bullet?
Well, also,
and-
too, let me make a note before
Okay.
you get into that,
Okay.
because just to show how special this is. Right there at the top it says Jim Crockett Promotions. Right at the top of the pay stub, right there. Just
part of history right there.
History right there, and of course in the letterhead and everything, the address of Jim Crockett Promotions, an envelope. Just the envelope alone, but the fact
Oh,
you
yeah.
pay stubs.
And what was so special is just, I love how the business don't care and how they thought Gary, my partner,
Go ahead.
they thought Gary was booked, but
Yeah.
of course he got unbooked.
You got unbooked, so you
Yeah.
just cross them out.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
we'll give this to George South.
Oh, yeah.
And then Atlanta TV Saturday.
So I had to be the one to tell my partner Gary, you're not booked on television.
You're not
so,
booked. So
yeah, you didn't have time to pout
And
or
and then of course the WC one, the Turner letterhead right there around the top.
And you know what was an eye-opener for me, Bullet, with the WCW checks is, of course, with Crockett, we got paid every Tuesday, which was very, very special. And I wished I had kept it, but, those envelopes is the night that Ric Flair wrestled Barry Windham in Baltimore at the Jim Crockett Cup, and they had stuck Ric Flair's check in my envelope with George South on it. And what was so funny, Bull, if I could just show you, you never really knew because you wasn't guaranteed money. You kind of guessed what the house was. But when I used to leave Crockett's office, this is a true story, I would always hold the envelope up. You know, hoping that maybe I got a little payoff better than what I thought, you know, because some of them we were making $20 or $30, seriously, a night for Jim Crockett. And that night, that day, I'd got Ric Flair's. I remember I did this, and I stopped because it said George South, but I saw a bunch of zeros. It was he made $10,000 for one match against Barry Windham in Baltimore. And I stood there at my car debating, now, can I get away with this? Or because you thought I would have learned from the ropes, but anyway, I took it back, but it was so neat. It brings back a lot of memories. I used to hold it up, just hoping that maybe they messed up, put a few more zeros on it. But see, what was so funny about this is when you went and picked your check up, and I'll never forget this. They brought Billy Jack Haynes in from Portland. I've told you this. He came here. He was making $100 a week up there. They brought him here, and what Dusty used to do is he would test you. But just to see how you're going to react. And Billy Jack Haynes' one of his first matches in Charlotte was he tagged with, I forgot, but it was against maybe Ole and Arn, but they just stuck him in like a second match. And everybody in that match made like $1,200 except Billy Jack Haynes. He made $400. So Billy Jack Haynes, and it just happened to be the day I was in there. He got his check and went straight to the office and threatened everybody. And he was gone that afternoon. That's why people say, yeah, Billy Jack Haynes didn't work here. Of course, he was gone. But Dusty tested him. Now, if he'd have just said thank you, no matter whether he agreed or not, but he made $400 and thought it was a very unfair, but he was gone the next week. So anyway, so a lot of history there. Bullet, just special old envelopes.
Like I said, the idea of passing that information through the envelopes. You got the letterhead of WCW right here, you have the Turner, and of course the Jim Crockett Promotions.
And see, Bull, I got to use this for a prop. But this was also a guy that we had did matches with me on television, and 2 days later he's starting a bodyguard, and I'll hint around, and Big Bubba. Big Bubba. And what was so funny is one of his first Great American Bash checks was very large. Now, he was just managing. He was just part of it. I mean, that's great. And I'll never forget, I was walking in the office, and he was coming out, and he was so mad. And I'm thinking, what the heck, this is Great American Bash Week. And he had just got his check. And I'll never forget, he was so mad. And it was a very good check. And I remember he did it in the parking lot. He did this and shoved it in my face. And it was like very large. I mean, the whole time I'm thinking, this is a joke. I mean, what the heck are you mad about? And he said, do you think I really should go back in there and say something? I said, yeah, I would. I would go back in there. I said, you better get in your car, stupid, and leave. So anyway, he did. He didn't go back and complain.
I want to talk about something here too. Like if you want to talk about the actual day, like places, like you got Greenville, South Carolina. You got also Greenville, South Carolina. Oh, the Greenville license. So they took. They took the money out for your license.
Oh yes.
Right there.
The Athletic Commission's been after us for a long, long time.
And then they got Raleigh, North Carolina.
I don't know if that's the one, but we used to get a draw too. I used to get a draw.
Yeah, you got a draw. You got a draw on this one for $50.
Oh yeah.
So it's got all the.
And I wasn't alone either. I mean, by the next check, buddy, it was took out.
What was LYN Virginia? What town was that? Lynchburg?
Yeah, Lynchburg. It sure was.
Lynchburg?
Yeah,
Okay.
Lynchburg. A lot of old.
See, I used to run the town.
Oh, I love
you
that.
You, me, and Stallion. We used to
you were right. You were right there with us.
Right there with
Yeah.
you guys.
So a lot of great history there, Bullet. Every Tuesday we used to go pick. And you know what's kind of sad, Bullet, and I still have that envelope somewhere, but when things were getting ready to just end, Jim Crockett Promotions have been around for 50 years, and you just thought it would last forever. And same notes as that one. I go in to get my check one day, and Ann, the wonderful secretary, actually wrote, and she said, "Can you cash this like next week?" And see, that was my first, idea that, man, something ain't right here. And then and I wished I'd have known, of course, what ended up happening, but they sure did. It just said, "Could you cash it next week?" And I said, "Oh, okay." And then after that, it just started. We knew it was the end.
That sounds like another Ric Flair story. What do you got here, Michael?
So I'll read off the stubs, and then instead of waiting for the DVD thing, and then we lose the comments, I want you to put the DVD special in before we close out.
Yeah.
But we went from Gerard Crush went to 25, P.W. Wyndham went to 50, Greg McSwigan all the way in Ireland went to 125, current high bids, David Roberts at 140.
140, David Roberts.
Yeah, so 140. And also, I know that one that you're about to show.
Yeah.
If we can put up 2 bonus specials tonight for DVDs, that one.
Okay.
And a lot of people had asked about the Charlotte PWX show that you talked about.
Okay.
If you could offer them both.
Okay. Sure. If you want to do that, we will do that. What we'll do is, if you want DVD special, we're doing 2 DVD specials. What we'll do is PWX Hogan. What are we doing this one on? $10. PWX Hogan. That will be in the special. Now, if you want this NWA History and Tradition documentary, just put NWA Doc. $10. NWA Doc 10. PWX Hogan $10. Brian Canterbury is going to like the fact that I called it PWX Hogan right there. But PWX Hogan 10. NWA Doc 10.
Brian Hawks is up to 150 on this pay stubs.
150 on the pay stubs. We're getting very close. How close are we on time right now?
9:37.
9:37. We got some time. Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap this up. We've already given the DV special. We need to go. Yeah, and we're out. We'll be out. But right now, we're right now the pay stubs right now. Let's talk about on the Briar Bend office.
Right. Which is still, the old building. Of course, our training center. I go by that office.
Oh, when I had a girl. Well, there was a girl that I dated. She was a professional wrestler. When she first visited me here, it was very emotional. We went on a date, and one of the places I took her was where the old Jim Crockett Promotions office was.
Oh my goodness!
And she was impressed by that, and that's when I realized it was love.
Yes,
that's why I spent 6 years with her.
Oh, I love that
because she was impressed. That I was like, this is the old office where Jim Crockett Promotions was. She was impressed with that.
And Bullet, so many memories. It used to be the office was here, of course, and then there was not Toys R Us, but there was a Lionel Toy Warehouse, which was big in Charlotte. It was huge at one time, and I think that's why my older son is nuts now. Is I used to take him with me every Tuesday. We had a routine. We did it for many years. We would go get up my little check, and we'd always circle around the toy store. And I'd always get him a toy, with that little check that I had, and it was like. Of course, years ago, and that's the famous building where they broke Dusty's arm. Remember the Four Horsemen pulled out, and
that's all part of the tour as well.
I love that. So. And the actual building is kind of sad here in Charlotte now. The building, of course, is still there, and a lot of empty offices and stuff. But the Briar Bend is still there. I mean,
and there's an old diner, Skyland Diner.
Yes,
a lot of pictures from
the old guys,
old guys and wrestlers. If you ever in Charlotte, North Carolina, go to Skyland.
Yeah, Skyland.
Off
South Boulevard.
Right off South Boulevard. And you can go.
And what was so special about that office, Bullet, as you know, you could go by and see the actual cage. They had Baby Doll's cage that they kept her in above the ring, and it was just all be sitting out back. It'd be rained on, and and it was just you'd see old Klondike Bill's ring and the actual cage and stuff like that. So a lot of memories still going by there.
Let's see if these memories are going to do. Where are we at on bids right now, Michael?
So Robert Delp bid 160. Kurt Jesuit's right behind him at 160, but I got Roberts first, and then Matthew Jackson at 170.
170, Matthew Jackson.
That is the current high bid. We're waiting on Delp and Kurt Jesuits to tell us if they're in or out.
Kurt Adonis, let us know if you're in or you're out. Robert Delp.
Brian Hawks hasn't said he's out yet either.
Brian Hawks, let us know if you're in or you're out.
And see, Bullet, something I'll add here real quick is everybody's always asked, well, George, you never, you've been around forever, you've been everywhere, but you never really had a good run as like a champion. And everybody says, well, why? And I said simply, of course, this is in the 80s, but it's a $400 week here, and I'm sleeping in my own bed. You see, and making towns here in the Carolinas. So when a money factor, and I think, okay, so most guys would rather have a belt and lose money.
Yeah,
another place.
They were in the Gerks.
Exactly. So a lot of times,
you the Southern Heavyweight title. No, you're just going to lose to Lawler in 3 weeks.
But I've had so many guys over the years, even reporters and TV shows and stuff, just said, well, you never really made it. Do you ever have any regrets? And I'm thinking, I averaged, this $400 week here. And I slept in my own bed. I picked my kids up at school, and I was there. And even though I was on the road a lot, Charlotte was one of the best territories in the world because it was all driving towns. Believe it or not, there used to be a waiting list to get in this territory because it was just so good. And the trips, there was nobody flying. We didn't have a plane for these trips and stuff like that.
It wasn't until you guys were going to St. Louis,
So I'm losing, of course I lost, in little 3 or 4 minute matches, but I'm, $400 a week. And I mean, are you kidding me? And so that's one reason you can have your belt, and starve.
Well, let's see who's going to have these pay stubs.
Sure. So Kurt Jesuits was 180, 175. Brian Hawks came in at 185. So Brian Hawks is the current leader. A couple people have asked if you put the DVDs on the close-up cam.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure. We're at 185 Brian Hawks, but here are the DVDs right here. Here's the History and Tradition, NWA, put together by Michael Elliott, our wonderful technical director here this evening. This is available for $10 just by putting NWA Doc 10 in the comment section. And then, of course, PWX Hulk. If you want to see one of the best matches of my entire career, me wrestle
that's the truth.
Richie Steamboat.
No pressure, no nothing.
Pressure,
just,
no nothing.
Just a great match.
But you probably want to see Hulk Hogan and the Flares. So let's be honest. Let's be really honest here. But if you'll see one of the best matches of my career, just put PWX Hulk 10 in the comment section or NWA Doc 10 in the comment.
And Bullet, what I thought was funny, I just looked on here. Columbia, South Carolina is right down the road here. I made $100 for that. But then the next day,
I haven't made $100 in Columbia, South Carolina. Like ever.
Well, then the next
I
day,
had to fight with Roger Gleaton in CWA just to get a $25.
well, and
raise.
see, explain this. And the next, 2 days later, I had to go to Columbus, Georgia, which I hated that drive.
Oh, I bet,
and
yeah.
I made $75. So I'm thinking, wait a second, I think I lost money on both of them. So, and that was without trans. See, the trans didn't start till we really started going to Atlanta and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. I'd make $100 for trans, and then I'd make 50 for wrestling. So
I'm show that a close-up camera right there, just all the stat breakdown on everything.
We're still waiting on Kurt Jesuits because
Kurt Adonis, let us know if you're in your
Brian
out.
Hawks is still 185. Kurt bid 185 right behind him, so I think he's still interested.
Kurt Adonis, let us know if you're in or you're out.
He's in at 190.
He's in at 190. Kurt's in at 190. It's a rare piece of history right here. Brian Hawks, let us know if you're in or you're out.
and of course, JJ, we talked about that.
Yeah,
JJ actually
written
signed the
yeah,
note on
JJ
it
actually.
and told me to be in Atlanta that week. So, and Bullet, my whole career, it was, and I shared with you when I just went and done NWA, that was one of the first times I was actually supposed to be there, because a lot of those bookings I picked up.
Yeah.
And what I learned early on, especially with Jim Crockett Promotions, is guys were always screwing up. So if I just did the opposite of what a lot of guys were doing, I picked up bookings. 95% of my bookings was because a guy would get a DUI and couldn't drive, or one of the wrestlers would be locked up and they needed somebody to go to Raleigh. JJ in his office used to have just a little sheet of paper on the wall, and my name was always at the top, and it'd be a list of just guys. And I asked him one time, "Why's my name up there?" And he said, "Well, you're the only one that don't get in trouble." so he would just wait for somebody to get trouble, get arrested, or get a speeding ticket or whatever, and couldn't make the TV. So I picked up. He'd call me like Monday every week. "We need you in Raleigh. We need you somewhere because so and so's in trouble." So,
Well, talk about your strategy of mowing the lawns at the Jim Crockett Promotions office.
That's why I laugh, Bullet, and you've been there with me, to hear guys nowadays complain about anything, whether it's a promoter don't call me back or somebody owes me a reply. And I just sit back and laugh at all that because I did everything I could for Dusty Rhodes to see my face. Back then, I would carry the TV actual reels from Atlanta to his office just so I'd say, "Hey, Dusty." And I wasn't working. I mean, he had nothing for me, but I would cut the grass. I would, George Two-Ton Harris was an old timer that did the windows. I'd do the windows. Every day, Dusty saw my face.
Yeah.
And
every time you go by cutting the grass, like,
Oh,
"Hi, Dusty." Hi, Dusty.
Yeah, I sure would. One strand
Listen,
of grass.
I'm trying to figure out where the AEW offices
Yes,
are, so I can do that to Cody. So.
Listen, and I know, Bullet, one of my favorite things is whether it was one day a week or 5 days a week, I would always call Dusty, as you know, on Monday morning, and I would just say thank you. And as corny and as tacky as that sounds nowadays, but I did. I was very appreciative. And it got so bad where Dusty got tired of me calling that he would have the secretary just say, "George, come on, he knows." You don't have to tell me.
I've had people tell me that. But let's see if you can tell me about these bits.
People. So Matthew Jackson got us up to 200.
Matthew Jackson's at
Brian
200.
Hawks went to 210.
210.
Kurt Jesuits went to 220. Brian Hawks went to 225.
225.
So we're still in $5 increments right now. We probably should change that, but we're at 225 Brian Hawks.
225 Brian Hawks. Guys, we are running out of time.
Yeah.
And
we got 10 minutes, but
we have 10 minutes.
George's items one last time.
Okay, we have 10 minutes, guys.
Yeah.
You suss it out the best you can. I don't care who gets it. You're all wonderful, wonderful people,
Thank you
and I
so
hope you
much.
all get it. But we got to plug George's items a few more times if you're interested in this particular picture right here of George. just put George Claw in the comment section. One more plug for that. If you're interested in this one right here, this nice one that happened at the NWA Power taping, put George Jacket 15. And then, of course, George Cage 15. Look, as he looks out for an audience that isn't there. Of course, George will personalize all of them for free. And, of course, we have his book. Just put George Book 25 in the comment section. We'll personalize all of it. Guys, let us know if you're in or you're out. Don't be messing around on little increments here. We need to jump ahead.
Kurt's out. Brian Hawks 225. You going to put this on a 60-second clock?
60-second clock right now. Brian Hawks 225. This is where we're at right now. We're running out of time, and we've got to keep the comments, so we keep all the bids. We want to get this done in 4 hours because we have the 4th of July 12-hour sell-a-thon. I've been on camera now for almost 4 hours straight. Wow. Nick giving me a hard time because of my segues. Well, guess what? Wait till you see me at hour 11 on the 12-hour sell-a-thon. I'm doing 6 of those hours. I'll be here after doing 4 here, and you guys wonder why I'm seeking professional help. But regardless of that, we're in the 60-second clock right now for these pay stubs, which I knew were going to affect.
Matthew Jackson's at 235.
Of course, I knew Matthew Jackson would come in. I'm just going to move him $5. Brian Hawks, just blow this guy out of the water. I know Matthew Jackson. He's going to move in $5 increments, draw this out, and then we'll have to start a whole new file for this. You two need to figure it out right now. Matthew Jackson, you either start bumping up your bids $20, or Brian Hawks, you jump in right now, put the death blow at $250, let Matt Jackson know you're not messing around. Brian Hawks, you've missed out on a lot of great items. Don't miss out on these pay stubs right here, right now. Go big or go home. We're running out of time on the stream. I'm running out of words that I can possibly spit out of my head right now. And
you scared him away. Brian Hawks is out.
Brian Hawks is out. Matthew Jackson's there. Well, I told him go big or go home. He went home. We're sitting 60 seconds. Matthew Jackson. Not Matt Jackson. That's the guy who's in the office when I'm mowing the grass outside of the AEW office. Hey, Matt Jackson. Hey, Nick Jackson. Hey, Cody. How are you? Listen, if you guys need a George South, I know you do. I know you need a job, guys. So I'm here. I'm available. I mean, I'll get a bandana. I'll do whatever. I'll drive some robes. I don't care. It makes no difference to me. But we are getting close to that time. I'm going to put these back in their corresponding
30 seconds.
30 seconds. I'm going to put these pay stubs back in their corresponding envelopes, just so they're correct historically.
WCW too.
The WCW one in there with the trans fee.
Trans fees. It's all broke down.
All broke down.
Oh man, good
right
days.
There. 30 seconds. Are we close?
10 seconds.
10-second clock right here. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We did it. Congratulations, Mr. Jackson. And congratulations to you guys for being here the whole time. And like I said, we've got PWX Hulk 10. We've got NWA Doc for 10 as well. And of course, you guys got the George Live. We got everything else. As a reminder, this Saturday, 4th of July, we got Sergeant Slaughter. We got the Patriot. We got the Patriot at 11 o'clock. We have Hacksaw at 2 p.m. We got Sergeant Slaughter at 5 p.m. 12-hour sell-a-thon. The whole list is on our Facebook page. 2 auction blocks. We got massive autograph items. We have stuff in the mail that's coming for that. Make sure you come for us this Saturday at the 4th of July sell-a-thon. And then next Thursday, Matt Hardy will be in-house. So check out that. Thank you so much, everybody who tuned in tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you. George, appreciate you. And Nick Aldis also says his regards as well. So thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight on the Virtual Gimmick Table.
Thank you so much.